And here we go, we are now into the fourth game of the day. We have Melkor as the Teutons and Vinch as the Britons. Both picking an extra Age of Kings civ here. Not a surprise, really strong civs in both. Brins are really strong civ, especially with 1 TC pushing. They can be very strong against the Teuton players. I quite like Brins against Teutons in this matchup. Talking about Teutons, of course, one of Melkor's top civs, just like the Franks. Really strong civ against quite a lot of things. Of course, you can't smush them. They do have really nice guard towers just in case they need to defend with them, which is usually unlikely. Their monk defense is quite good enough in a lot of cases. They save a lot of wood, so Siege Workshop, Mangonels, they come quite easy to them. They could boom because of that, saving a lot of wood. I quite like Teutons as a civ. Their tech tree also is very, very nice. As well as the Siege, especially with the Ironclad tech, gives them extra melee armor. Like Cav can't really snipe those at all. Help cheap combination with. So if we see SO, we might even see SO. Having a look over at Vinch as the Britons, of course, we're thinking maybe stone, maybe longbows is probably what he's going to aim for to try and snipe the siege. Teutons do have a little bit of a weakness to ranged units. Their cavalry is okay. They have really nice cavalry in arena, not Arabia, but in arena you've got less room to maneuver. You're not trying to go all over the place to raid. You're not going to be down here, over here. You're going to be pretty focused in a central fighting area, so the cavalry is quite good in that regard. Britons, as I said, longbows probably. Main gold's not looking too great. Second golds are outside as well. That's not ideal for Vinch. However, Vinch is sheep scouting in the back. He's even keeping an eye on the wolves, so that's extra nice. Vinch is doing all these little things for efficiency. Always luring his boars with his scout as well, always shooting it with a TC. He is just an absolute monster for having some efficient work here. No! Oh my god, I got so scared there. If Vinch took an extra hit, he wouldn't be able to lure his other boar, and that would just break my heart to see. Vinch though, extra gold in the back, second stone in the back, so this doesn't matter too much. I mean, of course extra gold does not make up for bad main gold at all, but it's a little extra. If he does play aggressive, then it doesn't matter as much, so that could be quite good for him. So yeah, let's just put it in the red comparison. Not a great main gold, especially since he partially aimed it with a house. You can't put the mining camp on either side too easily now. Maybe one here, one here. Main stone forward. Teutons don't really need it, but it could be helpful, especially if you just want to go TKs for a bit of a meme. Maybe not going to happen here. Probably just Ironclad and Trebs is what we're going to see. Speaking of which, Werewolf Trebs from the Brins, that could be really good against the Onagers. That could, and the bomber cannons, of course, and even the Trebs. Brin, what could be their combination that could beat cavalry then? I don't think, I really don't feel Halb plus Werewolf Trebuchet is strong enough to defeat cavalry. I think it's too easy for the Trebs to get sniped. But either way. Safe second stone in the back, second gold in the back, nice and safe. Quite a bit of back area, but not too much going on in it. He's just got his extras back there, no his seconds, I mean, not extras. Second stone out, gold out here. Extra golds are here and of course here in the back. Only one extra gold out on the map, one extra stone, two extra stones. Kind of each extra stone's closer to player. Maybe Melkor has a little bit of an advantage with this one over here. So what are we going to see now? Definitely no smushes early on. Britons are really immune to being smushed at the same time Teuts are. Simply because they're ranged units, they just have such long range. Monks are not as big of a threat to them. Of course ranged units like crossbows are quite good against monks anyway, but in this case, extra good. Melkor probably going to go scouts like Cav, the usual stuff. And there we go, longbows. It could always be longbows, it could always be crossbows, especially if you want to do like Siege Tower or something like that. We haven't seen one of those in a tournament yet. 1800 HP walls in Dark and Feudal Age prevents a trush, so Siege Tower seems like something we might have at some point. He's adding more villagers. I was just sitting there thinking, are you kidding me? You're going to 25 plus 2 this. That would be quite the SC if he did with 3 on stone. Then again, to make Lombos, you don't need as much economy. You just need to like stick a few villagers on gold, like maybe 5, 4 maybe, and just have like 8 on wood, you know, 4 in each lumber camp, and that's kind of you set to make Lombos while you keep your TC running in the background. 27 plus 2 Lombos here, not a bad strategy at all against tunes. I would actually probably say it's a good opening. Lombos are going to be able to kill the scouts, but I think Melkor's probably going to like try go full castle age, like mass a lot of plus 2 knights and just try and take it down. We saw either this matchup or it was Franks against Britons. Melkor plays them quite similarly. Against Stefan in, I believe, Arena Invitational, where he would just go full castle age, mass a lot of knights, just absolutely eradicate the ranged unit army. He did it with plumes again against mines, similar civ. So we might see something like that here. Melkor's in his area of comfort though, so we're probably going to see, just based on what I know in the past, and we saw the Frank game where Melkor played in his zone, that he won with, you know, decent level of confidence against Byzantines. I think if we see the same thing here again, we're probably going to see a 2-2 game, and that's going to be really nice for the tournament. I want to see, you know, 4-2, 4-3 maybe. There's going to be some nice results. I want as many games as possible just so we can have the most fun watching them, see the most impressive things going on, see any meta picked up. Vinch going Blacksmith Market, of course. I have yet to see a Mayim player ever do an FC Plumes but do a range up to get Thumb Ring. I've never seen that. And you think you would, just someone testing it. Of course it wouldn't really work because obviously the cost to get Thumb Ring is quite expensive. You don't have that right away, so there's no point in getting a range to get it right away. But yeah, we're going to see stable scouts from Melkor. He is kind of securing off this back area. I'm not entirely sure why he thinks he's going to be fully raided by Lombos. It's not the best raiding unit. Maybe full knights, maybe he just needs to mass a bunch of Castle Age Rams at one point. Depends how forward Vinch wants to place his castle. He's building a rack, so maybe he does want to go forward. He knows Melkor's going to go scouts, probably. I have seen him go crossbows as tunes. I believe he did that yesterday, actually, against Dracont. In the one semi-final game we did get to see. I think, yeah, I think Vinch is just going to go forward to this one. Lots on stone, he's going to be able to afford the castle long before he's castle age, so he could definitely get the vills out there. Keep the fight as far away from his base as possible, away from this gold if he keeps up here. Tunes, of course, not too much in the way of ranged units, that's going to be able to come and kill the gold miners. Because if he does go monks, of course he's against Lombos, he's going to lose the monks. Two scouts added for Melkor. He's probably not going to research Light Cav, probably. I'm thinking he's probably going to go straight into knights. And forward with spears he goes. Vinch is going to be able to get this one up because Melkor is too far away from Castle Age to produce a knight. He scouts this happening. He's not sending villagers. He could send vills. If he does send vills to build the tower, just delays long enough. Oh, the double smack. Sending out a bunch of villagers, not researching Loom. Ah, and the tower, the what's it called, the tree there is going to be a problem. This was a little bit delayed, but not delayed enough, I don't feel. There's enough villagers here from Vinch to do a decent bit. This is maybe going to be about, what, 60% when the tower goes up? Can this be stopped? How many villages is he garrisoning? Only 6, when he could be garrisoning a lot more than that. And I think Vinch is kind of screwed here. Yeah, Vinch is going to have to send more villagers from home. Is he already doing that? No. Castle's a goner. That's so unfortunate. Melkor is way ahead already. Forward castle, really ballsy, but in like 17x HD games that works. In these games, maybe not so much. Vinch adding the TC is just going to boom behind that. He's going to even leave it up there. He's not going to delete it. There's not much he's going to be able to do because Melkor is of course on stone. He can afford to just quickly massively wall around it. Even massive villagers wouldn't stop it. There's enough villagers here to be able to prevent that. Maybe Melkor was scouting a little bit over here just to make sure no more villagers on the way. If there was, that would be kind of catastrophic. That's not a very ideal move there from you, Vinch. Although I do believe it has worked before from Vinch. Melkor's still 1 TC, he can't afford another TC. He's going to be behind in economy because... Is he going to try 1 TC this from this point on? No, there we go, add more TCs, but he has to get on more TCs to catch up with the Brit. Brit is going 4 TC, and that can actually recover this. The castle of course is not going to go up. I think Melkor needs to ram and just take that out quickly. He has the map control though, he's going to have 5 relics, so not only is he 11 villagers ahead right now, he's going to be 5 relics ahead. And even if he loses that villager gap, because obviously he's going to be 3 TC not 4, I haven't often seen him do 4 TC, then yeah, it's a difficult one for Vinch in this position. He has to reboom and he's going to get taken to a late game against Teutons who have full gold. Is he going to have the trebs? Probably not, because the castle is... one castle is GG. He'd always make more castles, but... yeah, that's so not good for Vinch. That was a ballsy move, and he's going to have to try and recover this one. He is catching up with the villager lead. Well, to the villager lead. But of course... yeah, I think they're probably going to equalize in villagers around the 90 mark, maybe? Assuming Melkor did get wheelbarrow already, but I'm not entirely confident on that one. Nope. Okay, it's going to be earlier. What now? What can Melkor do? What can Vinch do? That's a lot of wolves. I mean, Vinch does have an okay map now, especially since that he's had a long time to collect this gold. All this is all of Melkor's investment. Melkor's just booming behind, so he's safe enough for now. Decent amount of resources inside. Another castle maybe, try to get to Imp. Try and rebuild that castle when he can. I do feel Melkor has so much military on the field right now though, especially with the monks picking up the relics. He can just afford to build a siege workshop, ram it, and from that point on he could then move on to the base of Vinch to delay him. Vinch catching up soon with the villager count, of course he's behind the relics and the military. I want to see a monk here just to bully that. That's about it. I think Vinch has a nice base here at this point. Just because he's dragged it long enough that this these forward resources don't matter too much. Are we going to see cavalry? I mean, opening hubs from Britons, it's an idea. It's not a good idea, but it's an idea. I don't really know in this situation. Vinch is ahead. He's managed to boom himself ahead. Didn't get the early win he wanted. Melkor, he could afford to build a castle. Oh my god. He's gonna build a castle right here, isn't he? Oh, please tell me. That would be so beautiful if he did. There's literally only 3 tiles of gold that Vinch would have access to. Melkor scouted both the second golds and 1 extra gold. So he knows that at most Vinch will have 1 extra gold in the back. And this main gold is the only gold he's got other than that. If he pressures on this... oh, that's huge. Vinch buying a castle though. And Melkor can't scout. Melkor's gonna have his own version of this dead castle. Oh, that's so risky. And the thing is, Vinch can probably imp Vinch can't imp faster. Okay. Yeah, to be fair, they're looking kind of similar on the farmer counts, whereas one has more TCs to run. Yeah, basically the same farmer count. No, that's not happening. He already has fletching as well. Is that gonna... Oh no, the castle can reach that. He's bought Canaro now. Yeah, that castle's goner. This is quite the trade here they're having. I'm just a little bit astonished at just the castles this game. This is 8 to 86%. Just I love these guys. They are my favorite people to play each other. They make some really good matches. Like, I wish they would just play each other in RM 1v1 more often. Melkor is going to imp first though. The lean castle saved a little bit of food. He's going to make skirms. He's going to make... He's just going to make skirms. Okay, petards that I can see. Don't know if he's making petards to try and store the castle to try and break in. Lots of villagers coming. He's going to break in there and he's going to build the castle. Oh boy. Oh, but Melkor can see and delete that. Melkor must know this is coming. Nope, he's not making units. Oh, that's not good. Back monastery this time, he's learned. 3 relics and another 2 there. All 5 for Melkor. Should have made the ram. Should have made the ram. Melkor can buy himself a castle. Does he want to? Actually, I don't know. Now this castle is up. If Melkor hits him first, then he will know that he doesn't need a castle. But he doesn't know when Vinch is imping. He doesn't know that Vinch went for this massive boom after. Vinch's score did skyrocket though. So there is definitely a chance that he does, you know, notice that. I think this skirm's going to be okayish to hold at the moment, but not ideal. Since Imperial Power Spike comes in for Vinch, I think Melkor is in trouble. He has no Siege Workshop, no rams. I mean, Dalt didn't get to play, but kind of he did through these players. Both players now imps, similar-ish score. We're seeing some helps taking the map control, more castles. Vinch taking the map for a change. This is really strong from him, I think. Because without the map, he can win quite easily. So with the map, it's a different story. So you can either make trebs or you can either make lombos, take your pick, but you can't make both. So if you're going to be in a treb war against tunes, you better have Werewolf. Otherwise your trades are going to be pretty bad. Fully upgrading these skirms from Melkor with the Ring Archer Armor and Capture. I'm surprised about no chemistry though. Bomber cannons might be worth it. They might not just be sniped easily, but... Melkor just strolling with the skirms as if his base is not sitting here open. What is the plan? In all honesty, I don't really know. He's just making skirms, no... Actually, he did research Captram. That's about to come in. He's taking the stone in the back, so that's okay. He's going to head in the back now. He does have quite a bit of gold to take back there. He still has this pretty safe. 5 relics. Vinch is only just now making a treb. Vinch... Oh, Vinch is going to lose the treb war on this castle. If Melkor decides to make another treb, that is. Yeah, there we go. This is not great for Vinch, because if this goes down then this entire front positioning disappears and the skirms can just walk out into the map. Halbs stand no chance, the longbowmen stand no chance. Tunes can start making proper army at that point. Then what? And Vinch can't even get his treb around to unpack, I don't think. I think he's better off just bailing with it and then using it later on to help. Two-handed swordsman, he's going for champion line. That's going to be strong enough against the skirmishers, actually. Cavalier, though, coming in. That's going to shred the champ line. Who's going to be heading it? Don't really know. I think the Cavalier are probably going to be a little bit better because that implies that he's already making knights. Well, he's queuing up some stables. Making some stables, rather. That villager just infinitely getting stuck and ringing around the rosy with the skirms. Nice. Same villager count for both, 126, 127, but Vinch does have access to more resources out on the map. And also this gold is denied from the Tune player. Just bit of gold all around the place for Melkor. With 5 relics, it should be okay. Vinch over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still the 4 TCs and the castle over here just to mass some trebs, maybe werewolf trebs, what he really is aiming for. Ironclad on the rams is going to make him really strong against the champions. The champion's still going to kill them, but not as easily. Castle going down though. 2 castles going down for the Britons. That's not good. Really need those at home and defensive, and to be fair, they kind of were. Will these champions die to skirms? Probably not with the 1 damage they're going to be doing. There's not enough skirms for that, but as soon as Cavalier come in, when he's not housed, which to be fair is almost never. I think he's going to be able to land the ram shot on this though, and he is then going to be... Oh, Vinch is going for the monastery, but it's only got 1 relic left in it. Oh, that's so not good for Vinch. He thinks he has it. This has happened before. Melkor always has like a forward monastery with all the relics in it and then loses it and then his gold goes. But this is not the case this game. These skirmishers are going to walk a bunch of champions right into their base, but of course, if he decides to patch that hole, which he might just do. He doesn't know there's a hole there, apparently. Oh no, there he goes, fixes it. And the halves and the champion's just going to get shredded to the castle. This treb fight up front. No werewolf for the Britain player. Siege engineers included for the... Okay, he does have werewolf. I didn't see that coming. That's really strong technology. Now what can he do against these? A lot of rams. But then he's just going to be using hand cannoneers against the infantry, which is not going to do too well. Longbows mixing in for Vinci has quite a complex army building up here. And that could be what he needs to win this. I'm still surprised at the lack of cavalry from Melkor. Researching Paladin. He wants to get and use Paladin. He doesn't want to use Cavalier, he wants to surprise Paladin. I'm not entirely sure Vinch knows that he could just like kill all these skirms with 2 trebs. That'd be so fantastic. This here's just getting cleaned up quite easily. Just delete a couple of walls here, kill the trebs, and that's it. I think Vinch's forward is at a little bit of a risk here. He probably didn't have quite enough. Maybe he's hoping to have a little bit more in the way of the champions. But a lot of rams now come in, and that's going to suffer. Vinch fully upgrading the longbowmen though. At the same time as the paladin are going to be fully upgraded. Vinch does have a lot of racks because he was making the champions. Castle coming up here for the Tune player. A few skirms going to be able to finish up clearing the halberdier. Yeah, that's ballistics definitely. Extra stone here coming in for... I'm assuming Vinch did... yeah, Vinch scouted really well because he scouted the 2 wolves here, so... So now he has access to the extra stone, that's going to help him. Quite a bit of stone left after some was taken by Vinch. Tune skirms carrying this one, who would have thought? So what are we going to see now? We're just going to see... of course the paladins. Melkor is pop-capped though. I hear dead villagers, so he's trying to make room for them. He needs to lose the skirms though. He needs to take a fight even if it's a bad one, as long as it's a winning one. Is he doing what he did last game? Not last game, game before? Where he's getting attacked from the side, he goes all to the side. leaves the front completely exposed, enemy just waltzes right in. I think there's a chance that could be happening in this game. Decent bit of paladins now coming out though. We're going to see a lot of skirm losses here for Melkor, but the thing is the paladins, they're just going to keep coming now. He's freeing up pop space for them. This castle will go down, this one probably going to stay up. I think it should. Yeah, it's going to stay. There's nothing to kill it when that Treb dies. No room for the rams though. If anything, the rams are just meat shielding with ironclad. Not quite as well siege rams, but almost as well. Trying to watch the skirms kill the champions is pathetic. But yeah, now this castle's going to go down. This here is going to get pushed. That skirm can't reach villagers here, I don't believe. How's the front looking? Not being pushed yet, but then again, Vinch is going for the extra resources. Smart play for Vinch, really. But Britons against Tunes in the late game, you're kind of really suffering here. I think Melkor has this one. But then again, Vinch can always pull off something quite impressive. Halberdier mixed with longbows. I mean, the skirmishers are okay, but they're not going to be too ideal at dealing with mass halberdier. I'm talking about many racks, because Vinch does have a massive overboom. 145 vils, which is going to disappear when these goat vils die. Yeah, just killing the halbs up one after the other with the skirms while he runs back with the pala. Lots of rams. I don't know why he's retreating quite back here. I want to see what his field of view looks like. I don't know. He has a few spares here. He can just send down this way. It's like Vade scratch and hit here directly with the rams. If he starts clearing up the racks with the rams, I think he might be really securing things there. This is a little bit of a worry though. He has this castle here, he doesn't have another castle here. I would expect to see one maybe, if he wants a bit of defense. Oh, but he's going full ballsy mode. He's going to try and keep the front of his base. Oh, that's interesting. I still think Vinch could walk right in here, but then again, he does have not the most ideal position. He's finally taking this extra goal in the back after just losing vills to the wolves.
Chong ching, chong ching chung. Now he will die. I'm a woman.
And that is very correct. So yeah, I think this is just kind of a mess here. I mean, I don't see what the Brim player could do, because it's... You have to combination the champs with the halbs, and that's not a really versatile combination. The paladins are really enough for that. Doesn't have a lot of siege. Of course, Bryn's not the best siege without the werewolf trebs and both to speak about, so I don't think there's much you can really do against this. There's enough cap rams here with the ironclad, just makes them that much stronger. And castle coming up over here. Here we go. He's not going to be able to be pushed from this area anymore. Sending 100 villagers just to build it. Absolutely perfect. All the stables, he's going to try and mass some light cap to try and deal with the... Is he going to mass light cap to deal with that, or is he going to run right in here? Because I think he's going to run right in. I think running in might be his last chance. Okay, that's happening. Melkor owns this map. Now he sees the light cap, what's he going to do? Just camp under the castle? Feels really exposed. I'm not a big fan of this. It's like watching Lock-in in the level of exposure. Are these on stand ground? But yeah, basically pop capped for Melkor, and not too far from pop capped for Vinchester. He could really camp with this amount of longbows quite a long time. Oh, but then the skirms. Yeah, this is pretty much the bulk of Vinchester's main gold army, and it's going down the drain now. That's really not good for him. Too many paladins. Brim player can't stop paladins at the moment. The skirmishers alone are good enough against the halberdiers. Taking a look at quick resources, Melkor is pop capped again. This is his queue of stables, and those are his resources for making paladin. There's nothing to really stop him at this point, unless he just like forgets to queue up rams, has an army of purely paladins, and then can't push because he has no siege. That's all I can think of. Can anyone think of a way for Vinch to be able to get out of this? Because I'm having a hard time. Siege Workshop again, more rams. Melkor's now investing into halberdier, chainmail armor tracking guilds. Don't know why he needs guilds. What's he got to sell? He can still sell food for a decent price. Stone maybe not, because he built like 400 castles, but yeah, Vinch just does not have what he needs. Speaking of which though, he does have a decent amount of resources left. He does have 170 population, 135 Velzoin just trying to make halbs and light cav. It's an odd one. I'm not entirely sure why he wants to keep adding in light cav and go for like a light cav halb combo. It's far from ideal. It's just not strong enough to try and fight this. It's looking pretty GG. Crenulation's coming in now. Those castles are going to be pretty ramble, as we say in the trade. Maybe if Vinch set up like 5 trebs here, because he does have Werewolf and just aimed at the Skirmers forever, maybe he'd have a chance. Now he's going to try to push down the one castle. That's unusual. Pushing down here though, the Rams are just cleaning this one up. There's not enough light cap to do much with. But at least Vinch now is pop capped, primarily on halbs. The Longbows definitely helping, but one treb going to go down. The other one probably not. I think there's too much blocking from the Longbowman. Yeah, not too much can be done here. And now the Paladin can run straight to Longbowman, finish off the last of the Longbowman and the Treb. The Halbs won't be able to do too much here. More buildings being produced from Melkor just because he can produce them on the front line now. Vinch, a lot of gold, but his gold units are not ideal for countering Paladins. Yeah, I don't see what Bryn's could do to really get back out of the situation. 50 farmers? 58 farmers? I suppose Melkor is spending the more food economy. So what's he going to do now that the Longbows are going to die, because he no longer has even the position at the front of his base, so this castle can just so easily be trebbed. This one can... a little bit more difficult to treb actually. Halbs walking to their death. Maybe he's doing it. He's going to Werewolf treb the skirms, but then that micro. Oh, that was incredible. He is producing some things on the side. Maybe he's going to try to capture and push over here. Halbram. Push here. I mean, this still is open. All of this. So there's still a chance for raiding to be like a last-ditch tactic to pull off. Not much paladins left from Melkor though. He does have a lot of trash army. He does have a little bit many vills, considering he's... yeah, he's flowing these kind of resources. He can afford to delete some villagers just to have more army. At least one tribe's going to go down. This castle's probably going to go down. Is it worth taking down though? Is it worth spending all your effort into? Maybe. Huh, I actually think Vinch is pulling that front off. No more paladins from Melkor. He has this kind of gold, but no paladins. He can afford to do like 30 paladins right now, just chilling out into the field. He has guilds, so he can still sell some food and... oh, food, he's got loads of it. Is this going to get hit on the trip? Yep. Gotta constantly clear my throat, still got a bit of a cold, and my throat is a bit raspy from the casting. Yeah, it feels like maybe he actually did this thing where he ran out of room to make trebs, paladins, because he's spending all on skirms, which are not very efficient. And there we go, the Capdram push is happening. He wants to make some emergency Teuton Knights to clear this one up. Come to think of it, just going Teuton Knights in general right now would be really strong. The castle should stay up perfectly fine, I feel. The Teuton Knights can just tank with the infantry armor they already have, tank the halbs, kill the rams, maybe? Is that enough? I don't know. I suppose it is enough. And that's enough Teuton Knights to clean up the rest of those halbs anyway. Pretty pop efficient there. Main fight up front, not enough Capdrams. Maybe if you masked up 10 Capdrams, you'd have a little bit better chance to keep that one rolling. This side push though failed, and that's quite important. No trebs at all from Melkor for ages. Just one single treb would be enough because a werewolf treb's not a big worry. If he sets them off, he's spending gold that he simply doesn't have. You have 5 relics. I mean, the only way Vinch could really win, aside from that 600 gold in those mines he's mining very, very slowly, is to be selling after that. Gotta force him to make gold units. The halbs, they're just working well enough for him, I think. Maybe we'll see Elite Teuton Knight, maybe. At 1 hour and 3 minutes, we're seeing Elite Skirmisher from Vinch. He wants to go full skirms himself, he does have better skirms. And of course he will be killing the halbs, which are made kind of like Av. That would mean that Melkor would have to go full paladin. Oh no. Those Qs. I think the Brit player is pushing back here. I think he's in a good position. This is going to be like top 10 anime comebacks of all time if Vinch manages to win this one. That castle is going down. I don't know why Melkor's spending so much on trying to keep it repaired. If he lost it, sure, it'd be more out in the open fighting, but that does benefit him when he does have the paladins. And the gold. Vinch did overboom. Vinch can only cope with about 57 army. Lots of villagers to make not very expensive units. A little bit curious about that, but it's just kind of, he might lose the trash war in the end. These Teuton Knights might be quite useful as well. I don't see him pushing from any angle, he's just trying to keep defending in the middle with kind of inferior skirmishers. Yeah, he needs to get back into the paladin trail. Without paladins, it's not going to work. Either player can raid the other player. It's just, of course, they're trying to deal with this one first. Paladins deals with all of this really quickly. But I think we actually might see a nice ram hit on the trebs here, so... No, that's too many halbs. Those rams aren't going to do much. Oh, maybe. Yeah, now this is not good for Melkor, this is quite good for Vinch. Vinch is playing this one superbly. He's now in the position with the leading resources at 200 pop as well. What's the purpose of all these skirms? Again, 3k wood, just sell it. Get a whole bunch of gold. Vinch is now selling food. He's almost out of gold in the back as well. If he does actually get drained of gold, maybe there's a chance. But he is going to be winning the trash war as well. It's just that the Tune player doesn't have to play the trash war with the relics. And also the significant gold advantage from having taken a lot more. Maybe both players are quite tired after so many games. It's not over until it's over though. I just want to see some more paladins. Absolutely wide open, and you can see that light cap there probably from trying to raid. If Vinch keeps that idea in his head, he keeps the idea he has to raid in his head, that might be strong. Resource-wise, still no paladin. I'm not understanding it. There's not enough halves to really make it worth it, and if you force him to make full halves, and you can win quite easily after that. Without gold. That's such an extreme problem, I don't really know what to think about that. But the mass skirms now, there's not a lot of light cap, but they are going in for the raids, and that has not been patched. Oh, not good, not good at all. Raiding happening all over. Of course, the castle is here to protect this, but it's pretty wide open. He's just gonna have to garrison TC. Is he even gonna notice he's getting raided? Probably not. I don't even know where the village that I was supposed to build that house is. He might lose a decent bit of economy. He's going to have a lot more army now, which is a massive worry for Vinch. Melkor does have these kind of resources, so he can make the army keep himself pop capped on purely army. So losing villagers is not going to be such a noticeable issue at first. He's even going to lose the front, I think, just because the amount of units he's going to be against. Now he's killing bills. But Melkor has to notice he has to reboom, otherwise he's just going to have his resources deplete over time and lose. He's running out, so I guess he did notice. Yeah, look at this. Melkor's now winning this fight. He's got a lot more army. He's cleaning this up. Population though, he's lost like 30 something vills. He's just not got the ability to pay attention to back here. He's still got to deal with a lot. His own scouts, of course, tunes, no light cav, only go up to scouts. They're strong enough when you get the +2 and then the +4 on top of it, so it's not too far behind light cav, but it's a little bit ridiculous, I'll give you that. The 2 pierce armor +4 again is, you know, like a castle age knight, so it's not too bad. It's they're very mediocre units at that point. The rating has been cleared up though. No full walling yet, but the rating has been cleared up. Now this is important. 86 army. That is... What can he do to stop this now? There's just too much army. Except the halbs wandered off. There they are. What's going on? There we go. So he's now sent the wall off and he's actually winning the army battle up front, as long as he gets the halbs back in shape. Keep those TCs running. Town patrol is also really going to help him. Looking at his field of view, he has quite a good view actually. He sees a lot of racks, and that's kind of all there really is, just ranges he could expect from the... Actually, I have not seen many skirmishers from Vinch, not enough anyway. I'm not sure what Vinch's Melkor's plan to take out the Trebs is. But the halbs are going to be going down. Some cavalry would really not go amiss. Paladins, he's finally making them again. His economy is a little bit weaker after the raid, so it's not going to help too much, but if he just gets some paladins in, they're not going to be killed all that easily, unless he runs like 5 of them into like 20 pikes, but probably not going to happen. Expecting a little bit more realism here. Hence why I got the blood mod, why every single unit seems to have like a full pool of blood in them. I think I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna ask Melkor to change his name on Voobly to Skirms 5 Ever. I might even do that in the scorer just so we could kill a bit of time doing that. No raiding anymore. Pretty solid from Melkor, not fully walled, but he did a decent bit of walling. It's now mostly pretty front, he still has to run through a castle, so it's not going to be too bad. This is open to be raided still, but of course when you've got this you can't really afford to raid as much. I mean, this trash can definitely hold this position, these paladins could go raid. I would be happy enough to see that, but if he could take out the Trebs when he knows Vinch has no gold, that might be a good option. It's really tricky because the thing is, Vinch has no gold, but he can always sell for it at the same rate that Melkor's not killing the gold units fast enough for that to be a problem. superior skirmishers though are now just kicking in. 2 extra range is pretty noticeable, especially against the Hulbs. More light cap coming in trying to raid. Not gonna make a big difference. Not enough to raid anyway. But then again, this could easily be raided. Oh. Yikes, that was a close one. Well done. But now this is getting pushed, finally. Where have the skirms gone? They're all back here. Get the skirms here, get in, finish them off, you can win. Vinch, if you mass enough skirms, you could quite easily push this one back, as long as you keep enough halves to kill the 5 or so paladins. You can win. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna stay trash wars forever. How did I get in? Tutorial Knight coming in to save the day. Absolute hero. This is a hole here, and where's the nearest path through? Oh, one right there. Simple house there, house there, house there, house there, house there. Oh, nice. Oh. That nice turned to not very nice fairly quick. He's keeping up the trash up the front though. He just can't win against Britain player going full skirm zone. There's enough longbowmen to really save his ass. Both players are pop capped. Of course, Vinch has a lot more villagers. Melkor's now losing the resources he had banked, which is kind of key. Looking at both, we see 46 farmers, 34, and 69 farmers for Vinch. Vinch has the farm lead by far. Melkor's not been running any of these. Lots of wood now building up. Absolutely crazy, just the trash these guys are getting themselves into. A lot of helps up here though. Cindy's helps down here, as long as you have arson, kill the buildings. Arson we do have indeed for Vinch. For Melkor we do also have arson. Arson of course being one of my favourite technologies because it makes halbs really strong. It's just generally clearing up some buildings amongst the rams. And that's, you know, a really big help for trying to push. Halb's a little bit out of position here. I think needs to focus just that little bit. He's gonna have Halb sitting duck here with like 10 light caps surrounding them, killing them, so that's not good. A little bit of raiding attempted here, a little bit of raiding attempted up here. This hole does still exist, I think. Yes, it does. But of course the raiding up here is just not going to work. Rags going down though. Military production buildings from Melkor actually looking a bit on the low side. There's all this area here. I'm thinking he could secure this off. It might be best for him to, and then mass some trash there. This is not looking too good. Not too many idols. He does have the farmers building back up again. Five relics, and this is still going. 5 relic cheating against Brits in like 1 hour 23, and this game is still going. Oh, I'm gonna look on the positive side and say this is just Vinch playing Britons superbly. Britain's played better than they've ever been played before. Oh wow. Oh, I'm going insane here. This is really wide open. Wow. What Melkor tried to raid for a change. Like, this is just 6 villagers and they managed to cut this far in like the time they got there. Oh, this is so insane. Is Vinch just mentally giving up? I hope so. It seems he is. Oh man, if it's anything less than like 1.5k per player, I would be surprised. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom because that's the only way I could really describe this game, so enjoy you lot while you can. Alright, I'm back. Is it over? No. Why not? Lord have mercy on my soul. I don't even remember. What were the interesting things that happened in this game? I don't remember the start of it at all. Alright, achievement scouts, he went Lumbo's suicidal forward castle. Oh, someone researched Heavy Scorpion. Now we're talking. We actually have someone in the game. Heavy Scorpion costs no gold. Scorpions do cost gold, but very little. Is what, 60? I don't even remember. I've been too brain demolished watching this game. 75. Okay. I just knew it was a low amount of wood. But with Siege Engineers already researched, and Ironclad actually, with Ironclad as well. Yeah, that could be really strong. It costs no gold to get the upgrade. So that alone just... Wow, we've reached reality, we've come back into life. And he did wall this off and everything is great and we are picking daisies and we are loving life and we're just going into the mental institution in about 2 weeks. Alright, it's just making some brief notes here on the game before I forget what's happening. I like to have a few notes that I could just refer to later on when doing the interviews, just to keep talking about the interesting points that people who've just watched the VOD might actually remember, whereas I've been sitting here watching Skirms 5-ever and just slowly losing my mind. Yeah, the Scorpion are actually going to be wrecking. Only the longbows can really stop him. He doesn't have too many longbows. 9 range on this. 9 range against the 8. I mean, even the Skirms are not going to be doing too well against that. I also saw a really nice hit there. That was beautiful. Ah, but the Werewolf Trebs are doing the same thing, and the Skirms are getting absolutely bombasted in the meantime. Oh, are we back at the same stalemate? Except now it's like Scorpions plus Trebs countering each other out to the same stalemate. Oh, should I just message one of them and just say I would like to go to sleep tonight? They like have a little bit of a waste against the Heavy Scorp. They will throw him off a little bit, but what if instead of all these Scorpions you have Paladins, an extra 10 Paladins, just one with that, it would be great. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Oh man, no, no, please no. Can you not? Melkor's had the relics for a good hour and 15 minutes. It's just still going. I want to see the relic gold, I want to see the KD, I want to see these numbers that are so big my brain will just implode into a black hole. Oh. Okay, so we still have these buildings over here from the Brim player, and he is expanding out over to the left here, which this is room that Melkor really needs to build his production buildings since he doesn't have too much room here. That's all I've got. That's the only thing I could even sound like I've still got some mind in this game. I don't even know if it would be faster to ask him to just like call a draw and then like have another 40-minute game on top of this. I think that still might be faster than waiting for this game to end. This is the longest trash war I've ever sat through. That's interesting. The pile getting trapped. Speaking of which, so why are these gonna come over here, open up, and then raid? I can see that being a thing. This whole dynamic is just shifting from the middle to over here, but I think if Vinchester sends some rams up this way, he might be able to do something. Maybe even Ondra. It's worth getting Ondra's to Ondra in this situation. Vinch is flowing a lot of wood. Of course, he's going to be selling that for a lot of gold, so it's not a problem. That's his gold source. Melkor's army is just inferior. Of course, his siege is a bit better. Not by much, and the werewolf tribs are pretty huge. But the skirmishers are just so far behind. Like 1 attack and 2 range. So now we got a ram coming over here, and we got infinite amounts of skirms. We have nothing to clear up the rams. So now what? What's Melkor gonna do? How's he gonna wall this? How's he gonna protect this from the rams coming in to kill the castle or the trebs? Does Vinch have this? Oh, the werewolf treb hits though. That's taking out so many skirms. I'm not hearing popcap sounds from Melkor anymore, and he is heavily running his racks and ranges. He's not able to make them as fast as he's losing them. These can't reach the castle, but the thing is, there's going to be rams here to defeat this, so maybe. Even just sell to get Elite Teutonic, and I just whatever it takes to end this fucking game, please. This is... Huh, the Teutonic's actually really tanking the Skirmfire better than I thought they would. Is it 6 Pierce armor against 7 damage? Still 1. Teutonic Knights might even be the key here. The longbow is going to be a little bit dangerous, but then again, that's the gold option. If you force him to make the gold option, maybe you have a chance. He's going to go 1 castle TKs. That's going to be nice. He's adding in more production buildings, so he is taking the middle of the map again. This move over here, he never took this ground anyway, so it didn't matter as much. But now he's taken here, he can now take the middle of the map with the buildings, and if this gets pinched, and Melkor like fully rotates down here, all this gets cleaned up, then he owns a lot more of the map than he did before, and he could eventually win this, maybe, perhaps, with any hope, with God on our side with the power of Great Jeebus with I'm so glad I started up smoking, because if I didn't I would have not had a chance to get through this game. This in itself is an advert for smoking. No more light cav really from either player, very few coming in for Vinch anyway. Vinch can still raid, this is not patched up, but again not a huge problem. Although he is actually trying to start raiding, so that might be a change. Melkor's got this if one, unless there's one Treb just like snipes every single one of these skirms. Which is likely. Yep, 3 go. Another few are going to be going. Yeah, the skirms are just getting massacred. Population for both players? Vinch's population. Why is that dropping? Vinch can't afford. He can't afford to keep making trash. And he has a lot of things queued up, pretty much everything he has, but 160, is he losing a lot? He deleted 20 villagers somewhere, or lost 20 villagers, I didn't see, I wasn't looking at anything. Oh my god, is Vinch actually losing this one finally? Vinch 72 farmers. Melkor 50 farmers, 48 lumberjacks. That's a lot of wood that he's not going to be spending. He needs the food. He'd even sell all that wood and just like make another 10 paladins. 10 paladins will help you at any stage in the game in this kind of trash war. You're constantly pop capped and try and make some pop efficiency. Come on. At least there's cap drums. The cap drums can be quite useful if he keeps him near the siege, but he's going to lose one anyway, so he's going to have like 2 cap drums. Nothing happening over here, which is a little bit on the strange side. I think if either player attacked from here, even just a couple of rams, it might change the tide just a little bit. It might cost them like 5-10 units from over here. Yeah, the Teutonic Knights, they're doing like so much damage because they're only taking 1 damage from the skirms, 2 damage from the halberds. 10 vs 6 spears armor? Yeah, 4 damage. Wait, 4? Doesn't make any sense. Oh well, it's still a low amount. He doesn't have elite, so of course they don't have high million. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong thing completely. 2 damage from the halberds. I've even lost what I'm looking at. Treb's going down. Oh, Vinch, 140 pop. He dropped massively. Vinch is losing this one. Finally, the Teutonic Knights have actually come in to help. Not elite. Elite would be quite big. Elite is not too expensive if I remember correctly. It's one of the middle priced elites. 1200 food, 600 gold. 600 gold. Yeah, probably a little bit higher at this point. It's the same cost as Halberdier, and you really want to get Halberdier before you run out of gold. But yeah, they are taking 2 damage from the halbs, 1 damage from the skirms. They're very, very pop efficient. As long as he keeps making them, even from 1 castle, that's still quite significant. Even the scouts here are decent against the light cav. So the light cav's not going to be able to raid too much. He did patch the hole in as well though, so... And finally we have a winner, I think. I hope. Can someone like blackmail Vinch's family to stop this? Shooting skirmish. But this is what I was saying. Since he took this middle, because Vinch decided to move the fight over here, then Melkor was able to rebuild here because he wasn't making use of this one anyway. So now he's making this one. Vinch moved over here, so Vinch didn't change, he just moved. And Melkor did change because he wasn't using this, and he's now using this other space which is equal to it. So now he's pinched this off. This is all going to go down. He owns the middle, he owns this side. He owns pretty much Vinch at this point. Vinch only has this side on the right, and he's not trying anything, he's not making any couple of rams to try and take this out or anything. What is he going to do? Melkor again losing population. I like I must have got in. Did a bit more damage than you would have hoped. What's he at resource wise? Still decent resources though, he didn't need to really reboom. I guess he just queued up a bunch of bills. In the mid now belongs here. Yeah, he's just getting to dominate nice to murder the skirms. They still have really high damage even without. Oh, he got elite! He actually got elite. Oh wow. Wow. Just sell 2k food, sell 2k wood, just spend that on like making 6 Teutonic Knights. And they will win the fight for you apparently. Oh wow. I'm Lord in heaven. That's actually quite a lot of ramps he's now got massed. If he just gets all these, he could easily clear this out, keep the skirmishers nearby, keep the halbs nearby. And then he's going to be in a really good state. He'll be able to build up resources again to be pop efficient, get the knights out into the battle. Even more of them, I mean. Honestly, I'm sort of at the point where I'm thinking just try and distract your troops, build a house here or something, build something that's going to distract like 10 light cav while they try to fight it, and that way you're fighting less army over here. Nope, is Vinch making a comeback? Fucking... Vinch calls the GG, I guess he just doesn't care anymore. Although he did lose a lot of his production buildings, lots of rams. Oh. Sorry if you can't see this, I'm just going to read you numbers. Units killed 2.2k for Melkor, units lost 2.3k for Melkor. Economy stats, Vinchester did actually a decent bit better economy, 100k plus resources for everything collected. Relic gold, 13k. Fucking Jesus Christ. Oh man. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't wait till I interview them about this and just tell them to fuck off. Oops. A 2-hour pure skirm war, that's just disgusting. I'm not even sure if Vinch just GG just to... Oh. That's just so insane. Oh, my alarm's going off because I'm supposed to stream on Voobly Official at this time apparently. Oh wait, yeah, in 1 hour is my usual Sunday slot, but of course this is taking over it. I'm not sure if they are exhausted because it doesn't take too much effort to just like fill all your production buildings and then just like go AFK for 5 minutes to repeat. I do not disagree with that analogy. Alright, so we're gonna go on a 2-minute break.
This joint effort seems.
Ignore the fact I just loaded up the wrong video. That is a history buffs video. Alright, perfectly on time. Looks like they just started. I was eating a bag of crisps and they just decided to start anyway, plebs. So oh, son of a bitch. They went for a GB. Alright, finished eating those crisps. Spec delay start again. Ugh. Can we just like count that as a win so we can end this quicker? Ah! Wasn't expecting Melkor to be the one to do it.
Yes.
Okay. Malay against Chinese. If we saw Chinese on any map, it was this map. He's getting loomed to start with. That's interesting, but oh wow. I'm just glad we're finally in the game again. Chinese against Malay. China can definitely win this matchup, just as we saw that Malay lost to Ethiopians. You start with a sheep, so of course it's going to be really good for you. You do have loom as well, so you want to do some crazy forwards or you're expecting to be forwarded. Having loom is not too bad at all. What are we seeing over here for the Malay players map? The Malay players map is quite good, and I'm going to cough. We have Malay with second gold here, main gold here. Not so good, but he does have a second in the back and an extra in the back. Reasonable back area. That's really odd. I've never seen something quite happen like that before. Extra gold, extra stone in the back. That's a really strong map for Malay to have. I've got so much stuff stuck in my teeth, I just feel disgusting. We have Chinese over here. 2 second golds and main gold. That's pretty bad. Both stones, pretty bad as well. I guess the main stone technically is back, so it's not too bad. But he's really going to fight for map control. He has no re left. You only get 1 re in this tournament. Vinch has not called his, but Melkor has. This is Vinchester's Raja's Civ. As expected. At least he didn't pick Khmer enemies. That would be funny, but not good. I've expected to see Malian pick from Melkor. I don't see him going too great over any of the civs in African kingdoms. So I guess maybe he went to get the strong ones like Chinese out first. If he manages to get all the relics as Chinese, that would be really, really strong. Having that kind of tech tree, that kind of versatility, 5 relics, it's going to be really huge. And not one lame so far this tournament. I am pretty proud of it. Aside from like that one cheap Melkor picked up the last game when the Vinch scouted too close to his wall. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really debating just grabbing a beer right now and just enjoying the rest of my day. Ah, finally, we see a map that has 4 deer for both players. Finch is pushing them like a madman. And now he knows to go collect his next boar. Every single game, Vinch does this in Arena. He uses his scout to lure his boars. Small efficiency thing, but it is really nice. I guess it's just a habit. I would always be too scared to garrison my villagers in my TC to then shoot the boar. But, you know, Vinch is good. Some chewing gum later and I finally feel human again. Alright, so what is Melkor going to do with this map? Scouts, archers? Against Malay? Probably scouts, more than likely. Scouts fairly simple, easy to go into light cav as well, cheaper technologies of course. You have a really nice boom because of course cheaper heavy plough, cheaper bow saw, cheaper double bit axe, cheaper horse collar, cheaper wheelbarrow, cheaper handcart. All your technologies just being cheaper is a massive boost for Chinese. Melkor is about 60% of a villager ahead. He's about 20 seconds ahead, and that is after getting Loom. So if you include Loom, which is dubious because this is Arena, 45 seconds ahead, if not 20 seconds ahead. Nice Chinese start because you start with the sheep in this mode. I think it's a quite good map for Chinese. I've been really shocked we haven't seen them so far, and I'm actually quite happy we have seen them, but the map is so bad. This can really be pressured. The only thing I can see that could happen is if, instead of leaving out this way, Vinch decides to leave out this corner and try and hit head on and then just misses this main goal completely, but I don't think that's the case. Melkor fully scoured his back area. Nothing in it, because there isn't one. Vinch going for some insane efficiency tips with this lumber camp over here. Just stick it right in there and then just use the back end. That's what you do. 4 deer as well is a really nice start, especially for the Chinese. 28 plus 2 for the Chinese when you're this far ahead. And it's going to get you quite a nice 29 plus 2 maybe? 29 plus 2 is going to be up at the same time as 28 plus 2 at the same time as usual, but a bigger economy at the same time. Then all the free techs, it's going to be quite nice for him. I don't see anything wrong with picking Chinese here. Against Malay, what can they do in the late game? They do have Arblast, they do have the Chocanu, which I can't really see the melee countering too easily. What can they really do against Chocanu aside from just some skirms, which are a counter but not maybe the most ideal counter. I think that's kind of the thought behind that actually. Did the Hidden Cup finals end or something? The viewers just jumped up by 20. And that's after the last game, which is unlikely. Quite a bit on wood. That's actually one more on wood than we usually see, but of course he is up an extra 2 population. He clicked up a little bit later. Vinch clicking up really late. What is Vinch planning? Oh, of course he's melee. I just lost my mind completely there for a second. After that last game, I think I'm pretty fried. Vinch just chilling in his back area for not too much reason. He's going to go archers maybe. I can see scouts be viable, but archers when you're against Chinese might be a little bit better. Of course, you're probably not going to be thinking of going light cav. You're scouts. I mean, I suppose the armor isn't too essential. You don't want to take too much into cavalry though. It's kind of my worry when it comes to that. Scouts are going to be better for the Chinese. Yeah, and the monks. The monks being better than the Chinese monks is also definitely a factor. But then again, we might just see full light cav from Melkor. We might just like 1-2 TC this. And yeah, I think he really has to focus on taking this map control. Well, Chocanu plus Champ is like the game we saw Huns where it was like cavalry archers behind Tarkans, but it didn't quite get it to work. It was too expensive at the time. It can work, but it's unlikely to. I'm just a little bit astounded by the picks actually, because I think Chinese can win this one. It's a really strong save. It doesn't get as high of a rating as I think it could do. Melkor's going to have quite a late castle age, but his economy is going to be looking in a good shape. He's going to be behind a certain amount of villagers. Not too many though. Considering of course Chinese are already a villa ahead, as well as having a great eco bonus on top of that. I think he's going to win this one. Vinch has always lost his scouts so far to getting one hit by enemy scouts because he just, you know, attacks boars. Oh, that was close. I don't know why Vinch didn't try and take a hit, and that way his other scout would be able to win the fight. Double monastery after going scouts from Vinch. That could be strong. He's not going to be able to boom after this, and of course it's not quite aggressive enough to really take out Melkor, so to say, with this map. I'm actually a little bit curious. Vinch, scout this main gold, 2 stones. He didn't scout the seconds, were bad as well. He might have scouted the lack of back area, but that's of course not going to be something you can tell from just that little bit. I don't know, does Vinch know this map is really bad? He went scouts, but he's not winning the scout war. And Vinch has decided to wall this one off and lose a scout in the process. That was quite nice from Melkor, holding the gate open while he comes in and snipes it when he's supposed to be trapped. Champ is not a very good opening when you are against Malay though, because Malay have the option for Arblast whereas Slavs don't. So monks are going to come out. No Sanctity. He needs to cancel a monk and get Sanctity, otherwise they're just going to get so butchered by the light cav. It's not even going to be funny how easy they're going to sit and die. 2 light cav over here, a couple over here. That one's still converting. That might actually get a convert. There's a good chance it could. They got delayed on that monk a little bit. Now you could run. This one might catch one. Might catch it. No, it didn't. There we go. That's quite good. More light cav coming in. This is going to be massive. Ah, there we go. 5 light cav. He could just delay the light cav up here. He could just come over here. That one was really risky. Yeah, there we go. 1 light cav's just not enough to cut it though. That can... No! Oh, no, 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 no. The throw. The absolute throw. Oh, that was intense. And the throw. He needs to get these monks forward ASAP. Oh, is he actually going to get converts though? If he could get the converts, that would be quite impressive. Early siege ram can be really strong. You gotta remember when we did those tier list videos, when we came up with the weaknesses, we were actually right at the time. But a lot of the weaknesses were based on what, like, if we were playing against them, what works against them. So it's based on your style plus that. So I think whether it's true for anyone or not, Melkor definitely has the best chance of acing this one. This relic over here though, pretty much a free pick for Vinch. Vinch is going to get 2 relics, and that's not quite ideal for the Chinese. Chinese does have map control. He has 3 TC booming, but his map looks like this. This is really risky. Oh. That happened. Melkor buying stone to add TC. 4 TC boom for the Malay player. I mean, he's not ahead in villagers, because obviously when double launch shaking that TC's right away, but he's going to find his way ahead. He needs to pay attention to these. Yeah, if he let that happen, then that could be catastrophic. But Sanctity finally coming in. If he just goes now, he might be able to manage it. Straight up, just go for it, don't run. Nah, he's gonna run. Rip. Maybe he's gonna wait until he picks up the relic, or he's going to try pick this one up here just to guarantee it. And then gonna amass a bit more, like have 1 or 2 more maybe. And then take him from that point on. Because if he just blocks off this direction, he could block from like here to here. There's no way for Vinchester to get back with the relic. That's a lot of light cav, and he's not putting them to good use yet. But now he just might be able to. That's a lot of monks, and they're going to be able to be sniped. Oh, and there's free snipes, they're not converting. It's over. Oh, the monk dream is completely over for Vinchester. And then the monk goes. Oh, that's the best trade I've ever seen in a long time. And Melkor's building a castle. Oh, this is so good. This is some really strong Chinese play. This is why I love Chinese. They could do a lot of things. They could do it really strong with a great economy, great bonuses. Absolutely love the Chinese. Yeah, Terror in that video, I remember Device just saying like Terror was the most generic person ever. Why is my phone going off? Did it voice activate? Does saying Terror make my phone unlock itself? Terror? Oh, apparently it does. That's interesting. But this is some straight up impressive stuff. We're going to see some fast arrow blast from the Malay player. He does have a 4 TC boom economy. Village count wise, he's pretty much now equal. He was delayed, but now he's going to be equal, and he's going to reach 120 by the time Melkor's maybe 105 maybe. But Melkor, 3 relics, and he's going to actually start denying this stuff up front if Vinch does not focus on getting this back. Vinch has so many resources inside of his base, but if you can't actually counter the things Melkor's doing, Melkor's even advanced it to Imp. Like, Vinch will be Imp first, because he's just about to click up, and of course his melee is going to be faster, but he's not really going to be doing as much. Sure, fast orbs, he might have like 20 of them, but then he's going to be against Chokanu with decent upgrades. He's got a lot of light cav flowing around. They're going to have +1, +2 maybe. Maybe even Cavalier from the Chinese might be effective. No castle at all from Vinchester. He could build one soon. He spent a bit more food. Bit risky. He likes to get handcart before clicking up, I've noticed. I don't know too much about that. Vinch is going to be Imp soon. He's going to research chemistry and then go bomber cannon as the siege. little bit of wood to build the siege workshop with, but he's going to really need to build 2. The castle's not going to be up before he's imp. I reckon Melkor's going to have the first treb out here because he's going to be imp by the time that this castle's up at the same time as imp. 2 castles as well, so this is just going to get absolutely destroyed. No home field advantage, but 2 to 1. Archery range coming out as well, so we're going to see skirmishers at the same time as even the light cav are going to be useful later on for clearing stuff up. 3 relics. China's vast tech tree is going to be really strong. I've been wanting to see Chinese on this map. Lots of villagers on stone, lots of villagers on gold. 10 villagers ahead for Vinchester, not all too important considering he was behind quite a lot early on, and there's a relic and just general positional advantage for Melkor here. So they reach Imperial at the same time, 2 castles to 1. What's Vinch's plan? He's got university, so chemistry first thing I want to see. Not chemistry. Change of plan. Elephants. What is the plan? We're not getting chemistry. He's just gonna get and sit and get teabagged by like this many castles though. So there's also quite a lot of villagers here. I'm gonna be able to help that. What was that just got deleted? I didn't see what it was. Melkor does have a Marcus on build 1, but needs to sell to make another treb. There we go. The monks might come in useful. The crossbowmen certainly not as much against the Choconoos, which already have bracer, already leather archer armor coming in. That's going to definitely help against the crossbows. The castles are going to just destroy the monasteries, so the relics are going to go down as well. Yeah, this is not looking too good for Vinch. Vinch had a good civ, he had a good position, but I think Melkor really played well. China's been such a strong civ, and I'm so glad he picked it. He's even getting conscription while he's making trebs. He makes enough, he sees he has the advantage, he might as well get conscription. That way, if Vinch does catch up in the treb count, if he has another castle somewhere, then he's still going to be able to start winning the treb war again. And there goes the relics as well in the meantime. So what is Vinch going to do? Lots of gold in the back, he still has lots to take. His resources are looking more stable. It's elephants, really? Mass elite battle elephants, are they going to work too well against the Choconoo? Probably not. I don't see them working that well. But if he masses enough of them, of course we do have we have skirms, which might help. I don't know where the monks have come from. Light Cow could definitely come in here now, raid, scout. If they could scout this, then he's at a huge advantage. Treb just going to be going down. I'm even sure if Melkor did unpack the trebs inside this base, he could kill the elephants. Not a lot of Choconoo. He was making trebs for quite a long time, but Elite is now in. I don't think he has rocketry yet. Now he's getting it. Yeah, it's not gonna look too great for the elephants. There's lots of them. They're gonna be really strong. They have a lot of pierce armor, a lot of HP. But the Choconoo, high damage and just a lot of arrows. He now sees this as he's trying to GB. He's building a castle inside, he's going to start building to protect it. And there we go. His elephant's going to be able to deal with this, but they're not going to be able to get around and stop this castle anytime soon. There's not too much that's going to be going on around here other than one elephant getting converted even. Choconoo castle's clearing up the rest. The pierce armor's just not enough to make it survive. Skirmisher's going to try to take out some of the crossbows to assist, keep the villagers alive, making the castle. I don't think it's actually going to work though. I think the castle might be denied. There's still hope here for Vinch, he's doing well. But the elephants, so much resources down the drain, all the extra resources he had, they're just kind of disappearing in front of his very eyes. Still a lot of elephants, so still more and more elephants coming in. Vinch's economy looking pretty big, but he's now only able to make skirmishers because he is out of food to make elephants. He's spent. No help coming in yet, but do we need help? Need some more monks, need some more castles, need more Choconoo. And eventually that will be enough to be able to take out the elephants. No siege ram, because the skirmishers are not in yet, but if that does become the case. So many elephants dying right off the bat, and that is a lot of Chockanoo. Vinch at home. He's now taking this gold, still got a lot of gold there. Still taking his main gold quite safely, does have the skirmisher, which could help him in the later game. He has a decent economy, 120 villagers for both players roughly. Melkor taking outside resources though, at the same time as his second, so his map does not actually matter in the end, he played it well. And here we go. Onger? Captram. Absolutely useless. I can see the Captram maybe working if he just went straight for the castles with it and had the skirmishers try to take the Chockanoo. But with the rocketry, I mean, look at the attack. 13 attack. Like, that's not too much that's going to survive that at the moment, except Ongers. Vinch called the GG. Nothing you could do. Absolutely superb Chinese play. So it's now 3-2 for Melkor. Again, for the next stream, I'll make sure I fix this so this is now full screen. But for right now, I'll just read you some of the key stats. 75 kills from Melkor. Lots of those elephants. Only 53 losses. Not too many elephants in there. 9k gold collected from Melkor, a lot more stone, 3.2k compared to 1.2k, but the overall better food and wood for Vinchester. Technology stats, research count, 1 higher for Melkor. Of course, they were a lot cheaper for him, that's his eco bonus. Similar imp times. 1.2k relic gold for Melkor, 640 for Vinch. 125 vil high for Vinch. Now, has my tourney lobby crashed? Apparently it has. That stuff always crashes. It was a lot shorter than the last one. So what do we have left? So Chinese was picked for Melkor. That's his last Age of King Civ. It was Franks, Teutons and Chinese. Vinch picked Malay. There's his Rajas. So Melkor has a Forgotten Empire Civ and an Afghan Kingdom Civ, and I think he's going to go for his Forgotten Empire's Slavs is what he's probably going to pick. And Vinch can go for Incas. I want to see Incas via Slavs. I call Incas via Slavs this game. Vinch still does have an Age of Kings Civ though. He has not picked Turks yet. We've not seen much in the way of that 1TC push stuff, just the Spanish. Two more possible games left, this is going to be quite nice. So we're going to go on a really quick 2-minute break here. Just because we're getting out of quite warm, we're going to need a bit of a break, so I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so the players are back. Vinch is now back, so they're ready to play. I wonder if there's a way to does anyone know if there's a way to like hotkey a YouTube video, or like a hotkey to mute a specific tab on Chrome? Because it would be nice if I had a hotkey to just instantly turn on and off background music looping. Because I like to change it up from time to time, and I don't like to use things that are either massively copyrighted, so using like game soundtracks and that kind of thing seems to be the way to go. So the players are about to launch soon. So this is potentially the last game. I really should set up a mute hotkey for my mic as well, just because it's when I watch the VODs back, there's like a little thump sound every time I hit the physical button. It's nice to have the physical button though, because like it's got like an actual LED on the mic. It's blue when it's going, and it's red when it's peaking, and it's orange when it's muted, and that's really helpful for me to actually know whether I'm muted or not. Otherwise I would just never know. I would never forget. If I mishit the hotkey, then that's kind of it. Come on, Vinchero. Okay, so they both started. So both players have both Forgotten Empires. Vinch has AOK. This is the matchup. This is the matchup. Let me just get ready to show you. This is what I wanted to see. Incas vs Slavs. This is the matchup that just is gonna happen. This was it Vinchester vs Fëanor? This is the matchup. It was even this position. It was like Fëanor was sitting here and Vinch was over here. That Vinch beat Fëanor in the qualifiers, quarterfinals. I mean, didn't mean to combine those words. Yeah, like Slavs is a strong civ, but the Incas are just that much stronger. They're the counter civ. They are the Incas are really the counter everything civ, but incredibly strong. Although, to be completely fair though, when we get to the semi-finals, which I don't know if that will be today, I think maybe I might save that one for next week, next Sunday. I think it's maybe getting a bit late in the day to cast the semi-finals because it is 4 games minimum. Because we do know Dracont did basically win the one we saw yesterday at the same time as Melkor is now here, so he must have won 3 games after that. But this is the dream team. I'm so tired after that fucking 2-hour skirmisher war. My brain is not thinking. Timo, can you just like grab Matt and just like start smacking his head in for that skirmisher war? That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I've never been so mentally drained. I have like worked 14-hour days for a long time and just been in better condition than I am now after watching that skirmisher war for 2 hours. I need to start the beer already. Anyway, Inca incredibly strong civ against Slav. The main thing being the slingers. Of course, they do have good monks against the Slav onagers, so it's quite hard for. What do you mean? What about Melkor vs Dalt? But yeah, there's just not enough in the way of options to really deal with the slingers. I mean, you do have the cavalry. It's fully upgraded cavalier, it's Slavs, but it's maybe not quite enough to deal with Incas when they have slinger hub masses. Pretty cheap, easy to make masses. So then you can't really make onagers against the slingers because of course monks, and that's kind of really the lot. I mean, you could go full skirms, but then if you're going full skirms against Incas who have couriers for both their slingers but also their eagles and their kamyuks, then that's pretty dangerous. So what do we have over here? We have Melkor finally deleting his walls after about 4 years. Nice map. Extra gold. Nice maps. Fucking surprised there's actually extra resources out on the map. 1 extra stone back here, 1 extra gold back here, so Vinch has 2. 1 extra gold for Melkor, and the other extra stone is over here. That is some sweet maps for both players. Quite a bit of back area, maybe not the best for setting up farms in for... Maybe Vinch has a little bit of an advantage here. Yeah, I think he does. If he does get pushed and needs to start farming back, have more back eco. Again, just... He cannot seem to handle properly luring in a boar with a villager, so he just goes full on scout mode. I'm not complaining, it's quite fun to see. It's kind of not a bug. If you convert a seed ram, it'll stay a seed ram until you... Well, if you convert like a normal ram and then you research capped ram, that converted ram will then turn into a capped ram. No, if you convert a seed ram and then research capped ram, then that seed ram will turn into capped ram. And there's something about like related upgrades. Like if you get a related upgrade when you convert a siege weapon, then it like turns into the current version you have. It's, ask Timo. Timo knows better than I do. It's just like some random obscure thing that I see occasionally. But yeah. I don't really know what I can see from the Slavs here. I mean, Cavalier is probably the best I can see against the Incas right away because they're not going to just start opening with halbs against Slavs. It's kind of a risky move. Both players really good maps though. I mean, with Melkor with all this gold, main gold and second gold not so ideal, but with the second gold and extra on the back is pretty solid, especially when you're Slavs. You have decent enough trash. But this might be the chewing game all over again with like 400 hours of skirmisher fights. And then it's like one person occasionally adding an eagle, one person occasionally adding a champion. Like, that might happen. Skirmisher. I can see that working, but it's... I don't know. Skirm is difficult, especially as Slavs with their bracer. It's going to be quite a micro fest. I mean, when you get Couriers and the Slingers, they still have decent enough Pierce armor. They're not that heavily countered. I'm sure Spear Over the Law has a video on that, Joshua. Just watch that. Vinch upgrading really fast. He's going for a... But it's not that fast actually. I was paying too much attention to the chat and we just lost control of time. Extra stone in the back, second gold, two second golds in the back and extra gold. I think Vinch has the better map here. To be fair, both pretty solid maps. I don't really know what's going to happen here, but we're going to have kind of a late game. We're not going to have too much early and then we're going to have a little bit of a problem when it comes to... my brain has just like deleted every word that I knew to get to the point we are now. We're gonna have Incas probably winning Slavs just simply because the take tree in the counters. By the way, one thing I do want to know is that I've forgotten the amount is how much HP does an eagle need to have in Castle Age to win a fight against a light cav? Like, what's 1 HP more than the HP it'll be hurt? Guaranteed. Not like I've a normal scout. In Castle Age. For both players. Vinch probably just going to do the same thing again, double monstrate. Before in the show match we had Melkor vs Vinch, where Vinch was Incas and he smushed Teutons when Melkor was Teutons. And the thing is, Teutons couldn't actually really do much about it. Because you can make your own atonement monks in retaliation, but it's so easy to go eagles that you can't even really do that. You just don't smush mesosives. And the thing is, since that doesn't work and you don't have light cav, you only go up to scouts, then tunes can actually crumble. That was a beautiful piece of logic that Vinch hit me with that day that I'll never forget. I've seen some really good things from both these players in my time, and I'm very glad to actually have them in this match. So we are looking at a 28 plus 2 from Melkor, 27 plus 2 from Vinch. We're seeing the usual scouts from Melkor. He can quite easily win this one if we see a Smush or we see Eagle Warriors. We're not going to see Eagle Warriors, but Lightcav can definitely carry this one. 5 relics might be what you need to be able to beat Inca, because if you're strongly countered, then kind of being able to starve him of gold from those counters is the ideal thing. Gonna be hard to starve him of this many golds though. Eventually 4 on gold, but that still indicates at least a monastery. Not quite enough for double monastery, but he might try and pull it off anyway. He'll be able to make some monks for quite some time from 2 anyway. I don't really know. I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to hit you with Vinch's view lock this time.
Jay.
Niam.
Jay. Ari. Jay.
Alright, we are back. It looks like just the one eagle might be able to easily snipe a scout, or a monk even. And it has. It just straight up gets to scout it, that's great. No sanctity for the slot player, so obviously he's going to lose his monk here. He's going to go for that relic, he's going to not succeed. Vinch is going for a straight boom. A straight 4 TC boom. Just chilling as Inca's just trying to get ahead in the economy that far. Of course, Slav economy, a lot better, but that's just, if you're not going to bother with relics, you're going to like aim to just straight up counter. If you have a lot of gold in the back, you don't really need the relics, then this is probably the best thing you could do. Knowing that your opponent's not going to punish you for going 4 TC because he's going to go light cav. Don't know why Melkor's going light cav every single game. Scouts could be fine, but research on light cav, not too sure about. I don't think Vinch is even going to bother garrisoning his TCs, losing that kind of economy because of it. He knows he's at least 3 TC, but of course the 4 is going to be quite strong. He's already 11 villagers ahead. He's easily going to be able to really cap the vill count, being a lot stronger at everything. 5 relics though, I mean, Slavs, are they going to excel with the gold? I think they can do. I mean, instead of Hussar, they could always have Cavalier as a addition to their meat shields. Maybe Champion Cavalier as a straight combination. That might be working a little better than trying to mix in the Scorps. The Scorps is so easy to add in though when you're Slavs. You could just go like all in on wood and like your farms give you so much food, it doesn't matter. Vinch even getting handcart this early, he has lots of farms rolling. Like 30 farmers when you get handcart 21 minutes, that's a huge economy right there. That's gonna be really nice. That turns into 50 really quickly, which is full boomed. Melkor going to go for Forward Siege Workshop. The one thing I would say on this one is that if you have a TC and you place it right up against the edge here, then it's actually... someone can hit your TC by attacking ground easily, and you can't actually get close enough to the wall to hit theirs. It's kind of not a good place to put TCs. This is a lot better, of course you do have a little bit of space where you can maneuver. I don't think it really matters either way. Easy castle defense for the Inca player. What? Maybe he just hates monks. He doesn't want his stone hit by monks. That's easily hit by monks. I'd be really surprised if no one tells Melkor to make siege rams this game. I haven't so far, but I'm really tempted to. Yeah, the economy difference is huge at the moment. 15 villas ahead. He doesn't have map control, but he's not aiming for it, so he could easily just boom out for map control. Like, just go full Eagle Warrior. Okay. Eagles against the Knights. This is good for Melkor. The Eagles will still be strong. And with a bunch of racks, he could easily then transition to hulbs. No upgrades at all on cavalry, just the light cav, which he generally gets. So Vinch is not assuming anything other than just the light cav. No +1 yet in view. He did scout the racks. He's expecting either halb or eagle, but he's going for the longsword line. And there's a castle, and that's going to be really hard to take down. You can't get close enough to kill many of these villas without the TC killing you. So now what? You have to really mass a lot of rams to try and fight this one. Use a lot of knights, use some long swords. Vinch is just about to click up with so many villagers. He has 96 at minute 26. That's well, 25-30 even. That's pretty great boom. Melkor again, 3 TC. He's gonna be able to click up soon because obviously the farms. He has a lot of gold to go with it. All the relics. He's now building a back monastery. This is really nice to see, building a back monastery so he doesn't lose his relics right away. If he wins this, it's going to be quite impressive. Sure, he's going to be able to take down this TC. He still might even be able to harass some of the gold miners. But Vinch, not caring. TC on this gold over here. He's got this gold over here. Blacksmith back here just in case he loses this one. Or maybe he wants to go double blacksmith, get infantry upgrades at the same time as the upgrades for the slingers. Melkor upping to Imperial Age first. And revealing his knight. And he just runs straight in. No fucks given. He'll be able to get some scouting in, and clearly can see the Eagle Warriors, which is really nice for him. All these racks. Straight up going to open champion. Nice move. Eagle's going to be pretty strong, but this extra scouting info is really nice. Almost worth the knights as is. Loom, Time Watch, generally helpful things. And these eagles are going to really quickly snipe the mangonels. Nice. Oh, no. That was a very close one. Castle coming up here from Melkor. He's going to imp later. It's going to get trapped quite easily. And these eagles can't even do anything. He's going to build, what, Siege Workshop down here. Siege tower in, rams to bust in. I want to see a siege tower in my series at least once, but I guess that's not happening. Oh, another castle over here. So hopefully we see mass siege rams coming from Melkor. It's the only way I can really fight the castles. The swordsman line though is not exactly known as the best for surviving under arrow fire like a bunch of castles, so it's a little bit dangerous. Not a lot of investment into cavalry though. We could see some ranges coming up for Vinch, but not yet. Vinch is now moving to more stone. Lots of resources. He is 120 villagers by minute 29. It's mental how good that boom was. That's me in a team game kind of boom. And that's not something I would really try and pull off in a 1v1. Two-handed swordsman though coming in. Iron casting, two-man saw, that's the one I was just looking at. He's getting the attack upgrades but no armor upgrades. He does not have a second blacksmith. That's kind of the problem, you need two. Lack of food of Slavs, lots of gold. Bit interesting. Maybe going a little bit heavy here, just create some farms. Have a good time. I don't know what's going to come first, champion or sea drum? Champion. And sea drum's going to fall soon. That's not going to work, Vinchy boy. And Vinch made Kamukes, he didn't make Trebs. Kamukes, of course, can be really strong. Not couriers yet, but they're going to be quite strong against the two-handed swordsmen, soon to be champions. Did he hit F? Nope, he's going to go straight for the castle. Nothing coming out the sides here. 100 villagers, 126 with Slav farmers, so actually kind of evens out the economy a little bit. Still running, still getting the market up. He's going to need it because he has 5 relics and he needs to buy other resources. That's the thing, when you get 5 relics, you could then use the gold to attack farms with your rams, apparently. Now what? What are you going to do against Kamukes? Heavy Scorpion's not going to be enough, I don't feel. Land a lucky mango shot, maybe. Kamukes just so strong, they're going to be quite hard to beat here. And we have cat rams already coming in, mixing with the Kamukes. So if the Kamukes win this fight, it's going to be really hard for Melkor to be able to switch to something that will win. Because he's currently getting pushed back. I don't see the champions being even close enough to deal with this. I'm sure some of the Kamukes are dying, he does have some monks to help deal with them. Which he teleported over here to then not use, apparently. Not a lot of champions coming out. Scorpions though. 12 against 4 Pierce Armor. We don't see, I'm actually surprised we don't see any other upgrades on the Kamukes, the Couriers. It's a very important upgrade, I feel. And that was defended well enough right off the bat. Scorpion now coming in though. We're going to see Heavy Scorpion not with these resources, not at all, not one single bit. If the Treb packs up, moves on, might have a good chance of pushing into the space here, then this side becomes irrelevant. Otherwise he doesn't need to really deal with this side because it's a bunch of rams and Kamukes and that's kind of a threatening force. Over here in the back, both players are kind of just taking their back resources quite slowly. They still have quite a lot left. Still needs to be a main gold here, he's been hardly taking it at second gold as well. 5 relics just helping him so much. Champions cost such a little amount of gold, he's not really spending it. Even Scorpion's not too expensive. Finally getting some armor techs, that's going to help. I'm not entirely sure how many more hits you survive with the armor on champions though compared to Kamukes. Probably like getting all the armor upgrades might make you survive 1 or 2 more hits. Couriers without any ranges to make slingers for our Inca player. He does not have the Kamukes to make this work. Sea Drum's not going to come in though, they're going to start cleaning up the castle. Oh, and the champions are not in the position, but then again, so we're not the Kamukes. What is Vinch going to do? Another castle is going to start massing more and more Kamukes. And 4 or 5 Scorpions just helping in the mass here. Kamukes are a lot stronger than the champions, but the Scorpions are helping out too much, I feel. What's that even aiming at? The gate? RIP Scorpions. But they need to be aimed. They're not being aimed. Sea Drum coming in here. He's going to send it on there rather than directly to the castle, which might be a little bit better. But Vinch could easily call the GG here. It's not so easy for Vinch to survive from this. Even getting away with the 4TC boom is impressive. It's we're looking at 116 villagers from Melkor, 156 population, 25 population ahead of Vinch. A bit less villagers, but the military is huge. Vinch has so little army. Don't know if he even has conscription to make those Kamukes with. Needs to maybe get Bodkin Arrow, maybe needs to get Bracer just so he could help out kill the other stuff while he kills the Seed Rams. But Slingers, need Slingers. Such a strong unit against the Slavs. Especially when you've already got Couriers, that's a really nice way to get towards those. Those siege rams are successfully going to clean up these siege workshops, that's what they're called. Oh, and the one champion, the one hero champ, that's just going to come and slay it all. They're going to be fully upgraded soon. He did get Drazina, which is, it's strong, but it's not really strong when you got spread formation Kamukes, just simply because of the nature that they work with extra range. but it's definitely going to be really helpful against other things later on. Heavy Scorpion now coming in. Bracer for Vinch. Ballistics as well. He is upgrading his castles as well as thinking about slingers. Range? Range. Maybe a little bit on the late side though. We've already got a lot of rams in there, we've already got a lot of champs, and we've already got Heavy Scorp on the way with 4 scorpions, 3 scorpions, I can't count, able to start doing some damage to the Kamukes. I like this, but this is a lot of siege rams. I could just walk, you know, waltz right in there. And this castle is just going to go down to 1 lone treb. 5 relics for the Slavs as well. It's going to be really difficult for the Incas to win this, even with this much gold in the back. 1 gold down, he's moved over to that one, that one. Took most of his gold, which is good. He's flowing 2.6k gold, but he just does not have the other resources to fight this. Heavy Scorpion though, gonna start getting some really good shots on the Kamukes, I hope, if he starts firing with them, please. And thank you. I don't think the Drazina champions are doing too well here. He's losing numbers, and there is, but the slingers behind are definitely helping out at the same time as he does have a lot of numbers. It looks like Vinch is doing good. I think Vinch might have recovered. These champions need to be masked just a little bit. Like that there alone is enough mass to just start attacking that and turn scorpions around and start firing again. Oh, RIP Scorpion. Avoidable. Avoidable. So avoidable. But more siege rams coming out. Siege rams with the champions. Ah, and there we go. There's enough scorpions to end the game. Even the slingers won't survive too well. I believe in the trade this is called Correctus. Or Rectus, I don't know. Erectus? So this over here has been taken. Melkor's now taking all the stone, which obviously you don't really need yourself as Slavs, so you might want to repair your castle and have a castle. But Melkor now getting siege engineers, so that's going to help. But yeah, you just want to take it away from the Incas is the main thing. Kill the ram. Vinch has been playing beautifully, but I think Melkor has managed to take his civ strength out onto the Incas when it comes to taking all the relics and then just going for the really nice farm eco, letting you have a lot of troops with a little amount of villagers compared to normal. This castle's been repaired for at least 1,000 stone. It's been repaired for more than the cost of like 2 Inca castles. It's been surviving this 1 treb for a very, very long time. Good few champions gonna die there. One shot. Close enough, good enough. To be fair, the slingers do have half a decent range as soon as Kemsh comes in, yeah. And ring archer armor. I mean, 6 pierce armor is still quite strong. Even against 17, you're gonna survive just quite a bit longer. And this castle's just gonna go down. It's quite unexpectedly nice. And the slinger's gonna get cleaned up. Is this GG? Is this gonna be GG when these slingers are getting cleaned up? Yes, it's GG. Oh man. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful game. And that gives us a 4-2 win. Something I was looking for maybe a little bit better. 4-3 of course, but call me a dreamer. That was still a great game. And because Voobly crashed, I didn't get to see the achievements. Let me just quickly rejoin. I just say grats ladies and Vinch goals GG's. Alright, so we have to winners interview this shit. That's gonna be fun. So we're gonna go to TeamSpeak. We're gonna have Melkor.
Connected. User entered your channel. Channel created.
I spelled my name so wrong in the TeamSpeak server.
Hello.
Evening.
I just like to point out that I guessed the password.
I'll just keep it the same to be a simpleton. Can everyone in the chat hear him fine? I know his mic's usually a bit quiet.
And yeah, so can I be heard right now?
I could hear you about usual volume, but the chat complains about everything, so I'll just crank you up to the maximum. If you're too loud, I don't give a shit. But yeah, that game, the Tutins game, what was that?
I was worried when I saw that I was Teutons versus Britons, because Britons are kind of one of the counter civs.
Yeah, it's good civ, but I was crying that game. That was I went AFK that game for some time.
It kind of came down to if I could manage to snipe his longbowmen, because if I couldn't, then I was in trouble. And if for him, he needed to get into my eco, and he kept trying, but it's very difficult to do without siege ram. And like if he had one relic, I think I would have lost that. I think it's only because I had 5 relics.
13k relic gold.
Exactly, yeah. It's just there's no way I would have won that without 5 relics.
Oh, I guess let's just start going over the games in the quick notes I made in order. Game 1, it was... What the hell was game 1? I completely forgot everything that happened up until the point when we got to the Tune skirms.
Franks versus Byzantines.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, Franks versus Byzantines.
You were Franks, and were you expecting monks?
I expect Vinch to usually try to go for the relics and not boom in some matter or form. So, I make scouts anyway.
Oh, it's like I was thinking that might be one of the games you randomly go CA with.
I considered it, but not against Byzantines, because if I do it against Byzantines, and he actually was just, making more of a boom, and then suddenly add skirm, it means it's basically game over, I'm in big trouble. So I was kind of taking a risk, hoping he would not go for the aggressive 1TC monk push, and I lucked out. It's also because Vinch doesn't do that as often. He likes to make the game more macro-based.
Yeah, he did open with a double monastery, which is usually quite strong, but he did keep going for the relics, even though his monks were getting sniped. I don't remember the amount of monks who got sniped that game.
There was a good few. I was a little bit annoyed at the time, but it's hard to tell. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think he could have done to win that game against Franks? Because it was just, he just couldn't really get enough hulbs. He did have a decent bit of space to build barracks to get more hulbs out, but he just couldn't match the paladin numbers.
I think one of the things is that he started with Arbalist because he didn't think I would start with Paladin. So there's a little bit of mind games here, kind of guessing what the other person is going to start with. On the other hand, he did put his ranges forward, so I could see what he was doing. I think he thought I was just going to boom after the light cavalry instead of adding more knights to take control of the middle, which is what I usually try to do. There was a little bit of, it could have gone a different way if he had instead, before going imp, added pikemen and tried to gain a bit of the map. That could have changed the game completely. But getting full map control with every single gold mine and 4 relics, I think...
I don't know. All these games blur together at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. I think my eco was probably ahead because, Franks, I don't know, for some reason
Your
whenever
eco
Franks,
was pretty much... You were
even?
slightly ahead, but obviously he had this... Did he have the same end time or like 10 seconds faster or something like that? No, it was quite a bit faster. It was like a minute or something faster.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think yours was like 30. Yours was like 31 or something. But yeah, you didn't boom like he straight up did after double monastery. But because Frank Eco, you were still in good position.
I think one of the main things was that I was very happy with the way I did my economy that game. So I wasn't floating food or gold or wood. So I did it was perfectly efficient, I felt. And he's tried to start with arbs, which meant his gold was a bit too much. So even though might have been same bills, my eco was much better for paladins than his was for halberdiers. So I just basically, because of chivalry speeding up the paladin upgrade, I just got too much a bit too soon before we could really switch to the 10 barracks halberdiers. So it was a little bit lucky. Part of it is due to how you start off an imp.
How much of course chivalry is worth it on the way up to Imperial Age before you're getting Cavalier and Paladin, but is it worth getting chivalry then the Paladin upgrade right after? Is it still faster than just straight going for the Paladin upgrade?
What do you mean?
Like the research time for chivalry and then Paladin after that, or just getting Paladin without chivalry? What's longer?
Of course, get Paladin with chivalry, because or do you mean
including the time to research chivalry?
I mean, but you can research that kind of while you're researching Cavalier, can't you?
I think you did after.
Oh, I mean, that was just a mistake. Because I forgot to mine stone. I just needed to get the castle, and the moment I got the castle, I wanted chivalry as soon as possible.
That's fair enough. I mean, that's something we saw the other day that was really nice in Dirac. That was one of my favourite moves I've ever seen Franks do.
Yeah, because of chivalry, the paladin snowball is quite strong with Franks, especially when I'm able to do light cavalry and add 2 TCs with all the eco upgrades the moment I reach the castle age. So it's kind of the same thing as just doing a boom, except you get all the relics for free. So the other person doesn't expect paladins because I think their economy is going to be ahead of yours, but your economy is the exact same. So
the next game, it was Huns vs Spanish. Is that the game we had you called the re?
Yeah, because I couldn't reach the right side of my base, and I was very scared that
there was like nothing in it. It was you had 1 second gold there.
Okay.
But yeah, the rest of that you had your sheep in safe places. Although to be fair, I wasn't paying too much attention, but there was nothing there.
Even if there's nothing there, I still would probably call it a re, because with Spanish,
it was a terrible map, I know, and you had like no room to go CA or anything between your bases. So I was thinking you're going to call re anyway.
It was a bit too close, especially against Spanish, and I was scared that with my base kind of divided into 2, that he could just keep switching sides, and I would never be able to be mobile to follow him. So yeah, not against Spanish. Any other civ?
Yeah, the game that happened, the siege factor seemed a bit odd to me, because you're going like full CA, and I was thinking if he just makes 1 single ram, you're GG in Castle Age. He didn't, but he didn't make counter mangos for his to force engagements with the CA and conks, or and then we got to Imp, we had something similar. You're still quite heavy on CA, you didn't have the Tarkins up and ready yet, and the siege rams just kind of came. I think how do you feel about the siege that game, or the lack of? I think that might have been the costing factor.
Well, part of it was that I got a lot behind when I let his conks walk into my base. I took the wrong decision to not chase them, and that completely destroyed my economy. So from that moment on, I couldn't really think about rams. I had to just focus on repair my economy and get enough CA that I can't just let his conks walk all over me. So that was kind of what was happening for the first while. And then when my economy started getting better, the problem was that his micro with his conks was really good, so I kept losing CA. Even when I had more range than him, he kept trading better. So it's the kind of the fact I kept losing the micro wars meant I had to keep putting more effort than I would have liked into my micro, which meant I had less focus on, oh yeah, of course, if he makes rams, I'm in trouble. So I remembered about 30 seconds before he started massing his rams that, oh yeah, actually, if he makes rams, I'm dead. And so I researched Marauders.
I was thinking that's unusual to see when I was expecting maybe light cav or that kind of thing.
They're cheaper for food, I guess, and I had a lot of gold stockpiled up because he wasn't killing my bills on the map on the sides mining gold. So I was like, okay, I've got 4 relics, I have a bunch of gold mines, gold isn't an issue, so I just needed something to kind of kill the rams and tank halberdier shots a bit. So Tarkons was nice, but I forgot to get elite. Or I mean, I remembered but then chose to get heavy CA instead. And that was a bad decision because right after that we took a big fight with Rams and Halbs, and I think Elite would have helped.
Yeah, I mean, the fight you had on the left, you kind of could have won before that castle went down, I feel, but it just left you know, the front of your base completely open that he was originally attacking from. So it feels like if he just like kind of waltzed in there and killed you, which he kind of eventually did in the end, it was your army was misplaced.
Yeah, I was at a disadvantage basically. The reaching imp, he was in a better position because of his micro had been good the whole 5 minutes up to that, and he had earned a fairly decent lead. So the only advantage I had was that I was sneaking the relics out of the back. So I was thinking, okay, I've got the relics, so if I can just survive, I can win this, because Huns aren't bad against Spanish late game with the CA hub. But I just, it was a risk to go for the Turkons versus Rams, but what else do? I guess. Nothing else really. I mean, sorry, I didn't have the economy for it at the time.
Yeah, so it's what else did I mention? Because I'm having trouble remembering the games. No own ram. Yeah, I guess you did get chemistry quite late, because I remember you hitting Imperial Age Gut Bracer. You had just enough resources to get chemistry, but you didn't right away for the CA, and that gave him enough time to get Ring Archer armor for the conks, which
counters my bug. Yeah, bracer. I mean, yeah. I just I had no food. I was using the food for bill rebooms and stuff. Mostly that's probably why I didn't get chemistry. And again, he was in a better position. So like I couldn't remember all the things I needed to get because I was just struggling to survive. So it was his game to win unless he threw it, and he didn't. He kept going nicely till the end. So. Did
you have consideration to make your own rams towards the end, or was that too taxing food-wise in your economy to get those upgrades?
And maybe I should have done it, but I think I was a bit too behind in the researching, and so if I had started to do that, I would have suffered in all my other production, and he would have just destroyed all of the front of my base, and that would have kind of been GG anyway. So. I needed the best. I figured my best option was to throw a bunch of stuff into Turkons and hope I could kill his whole initial army long enough to stabilize and get 200 pop. Then I could have switched into Siege Ram CA hub, but no, didn't work.
Yeah, the only other thing I really noticed that game is that when Vinch opened, he did a really nice fast Conquistadors. It was really nice. He also had the one archer where you just showed it in front of his gate to show him that he can't build it forward. That was also a nice touch.
That was like, just don't come outside and try to make a forecast. Please don't.
Yeah, that was a good one. But Finch was quite slow at making siege. He didn't add a monastery, which might have helped him, maybe a little bit, but didn't add any. Well, he made one mangonel eventually after some time, and then he was very slow between making his mangonels. I feel like. He actually was 1 TC for a very long time. He didn't add TCs or anything. He did have the wood to make more mangonels. I don't really know why he was kind of slow adding them amongst the conks. Maybe he was just over microing.
I think he was microing, but it worked out because I was losing. He was doing very good trades against my CA with his conks. So yeah, I think that was it.
That's about all I've got on game 2. And Christ, I'm just not waiting until we get to game 4 where we talk about the everything that went wrong. But game 3 was Ethiopian Scouts vs Malay from Vinch. I remember that. That was how do you feel about Ethiopian going Scouts against Malay?
I like it. Going Scouts is actually, it's just simply the best opening on Arena in the story, unless you are very sure the opponent is going to do some sort of 1TC aggression against you, in which case it can be bad sometimes. So it's like booming an arena, in my opinion, is just never worth it. It's always it's just so much better to always get the relics, and to get the relics you need like cavalry. So if he was not planning on booming and he was not planning on doing aggression, then that was the best option, in my opinion. So it doesn't matter what civ you are.
Do you remember in it was in the show match you played vs him, you were Huns, he was Ethiopians, and he destroyed you by just rapid booming.
I think that my eco was actually the same as his, though. That's the thing. It wasn't that he had outboomed me. It was the fact that he did some moves that were kind of. It was a very close one. If I had done a few things slightly differently, like if I had massed skirmishers before cavalry archers a bit faster, I think I would have even won that one. So it all comes down to who can get the initial map control, because it snowballs out of control if you lose map control at the beginning. I think our equals were the same there.
The Ethiopians can they have a nice opening just with the extra resources, especially when going to Castle Age. I find that's it's quite nice if like you randomly decide to spend all of your food going up to make a bunch of scouts. If you're going into a scout war, it's okay, but I think Malay still wins that one a little bit. I find Malay is always a bit like whenever I FC with Malay, especially if I go scouts, by the time I get to Castle Age, the amount of food I've got is just generally less because of the extra villagers. So I think Ethiopia has a slight advantage there, but either or could open Expo, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was quite distant though. Expo would have been not that ideal.
Yeah, the closer you are, the more likely you wanted to start with Expo, exactly. But yeah, when it's that far, like cavalry is just the best option. And yeah, Malay build order was very weird. Every time I'm Malay, I always get confused when to add PCs, when to get whatever. Usually I get both eco upgrades the moment I reach Castle Age, and I just didn't have any food. So, but I guess I was 4 or 5 bills ahead at that point.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that game was the gold in the show tells. It was, I think Vinch was incredibly close to out of gold. Like, I think he was already at the point when he was making most of his show tells of just selling resources to get gold. Because I think you were really close to him that game. He didn't have much gold access at all. You took the gold access from the left.
I was a bit surprised that he was able to make so much gold units to come back when I just took it off gold. It's true, but neither of us had made too many gold units before that. He made some arbalists, but not that many. He hadn't made cannons, so I mean, he must have had a fair bit of reserves. So that wasn't a huge surprise. I guess the thing was he just he switched into his better combo before I did. So I feel like he just played better that game. It started out even. I think I started out playing better by making the skirms and the cannons, and then I managed to outmass him a bit, so that was good. And then he moves to a better combination of units faster than I did. So
yeah, I've got to say, like, Vinch played amazingly in all those games. That was really nice to see.
Yeah, no, he outplayed me that game. I mean, it wasn't a Civ win. I think Karambit's Arbalist is pretty even with Ethiopian Arbalist Shotel, but I forgot to switch to Karambit's quickly enough.
The maximum farm count I saw you with was 27.
Oh, yeah, that
You had like no farms though.
Oh,
and it's like
okay.
you're just trying to make loads of Karambits, and I was like, maybe one day you'll switch to 200 swordsmen, and then I just took a look at your farmer count and I was like, nah, that's not happening. Yeah, no farms that game.
I never measure my farms until way later. I usually just look at my TCs and I'm like, oh yeah, that looks like a nice number of farms. That must be enough. Unless of course I'm booming and then I check regularly. Yeah, it was going well at first for the Arbalist Skirm, and then he just did his economy and units better, and that's when I started losing.
I think if he did go Seedram, it might have gone a little bit better for him, because he does have half decent options against all the other things, like maybe Arbalest Seedram, if he was really quick with it, might have been good against Malay, like fast Seedram. That
could have been good for him, yeah. I forgot that Seedram is the thing to worry about. In general, I should have made Karambits way sooner. My start with cannons and Arbalist was okay, but then my focus, the moment I pushed him back a small bit, should have been to get as many castles as possible with good farm eco, so I could counter rams and shotels. And I just I forgot, or he was just putting good pressure on, so it never happened.
So game 4, that was the. Let's just talk about both your castles, and just how you both should never be allowed to play AOC again after those castles. That was exceptional to see the.
I thought he was booming.
Well, you beat his, because he only got 82%, you got 86%.
Oh man, let's just say it. Let's just put it this way. I was like, this is Vinch. He's done this before and beaten me, where he does the forward castle, he loses all the fills, but I had to make a tower, and so while I'm trying to mine the stones for another TC, he's already on 3 TC recovering the 6 fills. So I mean, I knew that I wasn't ahead because I'd spent too long with like 7 guys on stone doing nothing, and I also wasted food on militia. I forgot to cancel that. That was panic mode, and I figured that he was going to do a 4 TC boom and just do absolutely nothing until the Imperial Age. So
Correct.
when I started making my castle, suddenly he has +2 attack, and he's got a tower with +2 attack, and he's got Longbowman and a castle. It's like, where did this come from? I thought it was booming.
I don't recall when he got fletching. It must have been very early, but he only got Bodkin after your castle was like 60+% is when that was researched. But he didn't really have that castle. He was instant 4 TC booming after he failed with that thing, with the forward castle, and then he did some quick market shenanigans to buy another castle.
Okay. Also, he started making it after I made my castle.
Yeah, he just sent like 400 villagers to build it. It was like,
oh,
although to be fair, he was that many villagers ahead of you. He built the castle, then the tower after it, and then Bodkin Arrow came during sometime you were like in the middle of building the castle. So,
well, moral of the story: don't send 7 vills to make a castle that close to the guy's wall. I guess.
Yeah, I was thinking you were going to build it near his main gold, like go around the side a little bit, because that would have been perfect. He had nothing else inside really if you damaged that main gold. So
the worry is that if I do that, and then he sends a bunch of vills forward to make a castle right next to my walls, I don't want to allow Britons to get too close to my base. So the idea of the castle was partly just to stop his mines, and partly to just block him from getting to my base. If he wants to attack, he has to go through this castle. It's kind of a less stressful thing to do, I guess.
You could always build up like a general forward, like Siege Workshop, that kind of stuff, and always like tower the gold, because I think he did have scouting of all the second golds outside his base.
It's true, but I've played too many games versus Metal where I go around 1 second and then he just comes out with like 5 pikemen and 20 vills to make a castle in the middle of the map, and I'm not taking that risk. I'm so sick of losing games to a sneaky castle the moment my back's turned.
What else do we have that game? Why do I have the words "no ram to kill Vinch's rams"? What was I talking about that? Oh, why did you not make a ram to kill Vinch's castle sitting in front of your base? It's like the first thing I would have done when that castle failed would be to throw up Siege Workshop, make a single ram, kill it, and then use that ram to then press him at home.
Because I had destroyed my economy by panic making militia, so I didn't have the resources. The main priority was to just recover my economy. Because if you might not remember, probably don't, but I was barely having enough food to make vills from all my 3 TCs. So I knew that he was going to actually have more vills than me in about 5 minutes. I messed my economy up too much in the panic defense. So I had no resources for it. I had to focus on the economy first. I should have done it later though, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, the only other thing that game, before we get to just the skirms, is that you researched Pala, you made quite a lot of Pala, then you, it just felt in the later game when you still had the 5 relics, you still had a lot of resources, like you had a lot of gold in the bank at one point, like at least 1k after researching Pala, and you were not making Pala at all, it was just the skirms. It felt a bit weird that you didn't have Pala to clean up the last of his attacks.
It's because he was doing good defense with his helps, and the paladins actually are not cost efficient against him if he's got the right unit combinations. So it was only worth making them every time I looked at his army and I saw that he had enough, 60 skirms massed, and that's when I started making Pala, because that means that he doesn't have the pop support for helps. So I tried to save the paladins. If I'm going to spend gold on them, I wanted to save it for when I really needed them, for when his army had just too much skirms, too much siege, and not enough helps. Then I make some paladins, clean up his army. He loses the skirms, he makes more halves, and then there's no need for paladins because they're just gonna get shredded.
Yeah, but that strategy really won the game quick for you, didn't it?
Yeah, it's like I waited. I just kept massing the paladins, watching his army. Like, is he going to stop making halves? And eventually he stopped making halves, so it worked out. I like the champion switch from him. That almost took me out. If he had enough pressure off that, he could have finished me.
Yeah, we're just gonna skip the skirms 5 ever part. I think The thing I can say that ended the game there, aside from the units, is that you were fighting in the middle of the map. Basically, there's two areas of the map that you had available to you that you could eventually build your production buildings and stuff to hold area. There was the left side of your base. It was like a big open area you never took to build production buildings when you really could have used a bit more. But then when you were fighting in the middle, he decided to move over to the left side towards the end.
Yeah.
And then you built production buildings in the middle and secured that. So then as soon as you pinched them off from the left side, you basically had pretty much all the map at that point. And that's how you ended up kind of pushing him into his base and then winning.
I think what actually made the huge difference is the Teutonic Knights.
Oh
Before that,
clearly. Those were really winning. Even when they weren't elite, they were still really tanking.
6 armor, so the scrims only did 1 damage. I checked before I made a lot of them. That was the thing that changed everything. Before that, I actually was worried I was going to lose because yes, I have 5 relics, but he has enough. His army was trading better than mine the whole time because he's got +1 range in his skirms, and he's got light cavalry. So it's just really really tricky to hold back his army, especially with Werewolf Trebs. That was a problem too.
Yeah, I saw some good shots. That was.
Yeah, I stopped paying attention for 1 second and all my scrims are gone. It's like, okay, what happened here?
I would have even just gone siege on during that point. I would have just like saved up the 3k would have had, just sell like 2k of it at once and then just rely on the relics, just keep making skirms and hulls for the next like 10 minutes, restart siege on and just I would just do YOLO stuff in that situation just to end it quickly, because that was just not I would have hated to play that myself.
I know I was really stressed because I want to underestimate Vinch and post-imp, so I knew that if I made one little mistake, he would win a big battle, and then it would just kind of snowball from there. I would lose on my momentum and lose the game. So I was trying to be very, very careful that game not to lose. Just to be, okay, if he wins a battle, that's fine, let's go back, mass, stonewall everything, don't let him advance. I have 5 relics, surely that's enough to win. For the first 30 minutes, I was like, no, it's not enough to win. He's still beating me with 5 relics. How is this possible? But yeah, Siege Onager could have worked. I kind of figured I need to kill the longbowmen, and then I managed to do that. But I forgot. It's true. I forgot that Siege Onager would have also worked the moment his longbowmen were gone. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the rate he was trading, because the skirms with an extra 2 range and 1 attack over yours was pretty strong. Yeah. Because then it's just like he saves enough food and wood that he saves in the trade to then sell to get the same kind of gold you're getting from the relics. So it's
exactly, that's it. I guess a good reason not to make Siege Onager is that if I spent all my gold on that for the next 10 minutes, he would have massed more Trebs, and then Werewolf Trebs can do a decent job at countering Siege Onager if you just micro a little bit. And his light cavalry, between the two of them, it would have been difficult to get the best trades. It still would have worked, I think, but Teutonic Knights was safer. There was just no unit he had that could touch them.
Yeah. So moving on to game 5, he was Malay. You were China. Yeah. He went scouts against you. I feel that's kind of a bit odd to do as Malay, just because China have the better scouts. I mean, it is an opening after all, but then he went double monastery. It just feels like going scouts into double monastery is a bit over investing in something that's just going to die to someone with better light cav going full light cav.
I agree that the double monastery was unexpected. I wouldn't have thought that was a good idea. That being said, it almost worked. So, I mean, maybe if you got a little bit luckier with the converts, it could have destroyed me. The thing to remember is that the game can change depending on the converts at the beginning. So in the first encounter, if his first 2 monks converted both my light cavalry, that would have been so bad. He probably would have taken maybe 4 of them at that point. So I mean, it worked out, but luck can always randomness can always make it go one way or the other. So it worked out for me in the end.
Yeah, you had that point where he just wasn't paying attention, and you only started converting right as your light cav were hitting the monks, pretty much. So that was basically just GG.
That was very nice. Yes, that is the risk of going double monastery, because you have to always focus on them. So it's difficult to go double monastery while doing a lot of nice macro, and so he was clearly focusing on his economy then. By the way, melee. It is. I think it's again. I think it's okay for any civ to go like cavalry, even against a better civ. Just because usually the relic war is over before the other person gets bloodlines, so it doesn't make a huge difference that the other guy's got like better light cavalry, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, fair enough. Being asked in chat what your favourite arena civ is, Frank's, Tunes, or some other related civ.
I think if I'm against the non-gunpowder civ, I would always pick Franks or Burmese. It's just the three civs that I hate playing: Spanish, Turks, and Burmese, because they're just gonna make unique unit that counters knights. Where's the fun in that?
Stefan says congratulations.
Thanks.
He says it doesn't count because he wasn't playing, but just go play RM1v1, spank him a few times. Anyway, back in that game. Why? Something I couldn't understand what Vinch was doing was opening full elephants instead of just opening with straight skirms. It did confuse me a little bit. I didn't think it was a good decision, really, from Vinch to make elephants.
It's possible it could have worked if you had trebs to back them up. If you had massed 4 trebs and then gone in, and then you might have been able to kill each of my castles really fast with the elephants. It wasn't cost efficient for the fighting, but I might have given them map control at the expense of 1k score and me stockpiling 2k resources. I think it was a bit risky. It's true. I personally would have gone for cannon skirmisher or something like that, but then I could have switched to cavalier maybe. So
yeah, it was nice to see elephants, but it's
it's like when you're under pressure, it's really difficult to make the right unit choice. Because there's so many questions you have in your heads. You don't know what the other person's going to switch to. You don't know how good his economy is, whether it's kind of low eco or high eco, and you need to focus on just not dying. So I would say that the pressure of my castles, I think he probably knew he was in big trouble the moment I got that first castle in front of him, and then he kind of went, this is bad, so let's take a risk and go elephants and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, he did a nice boom, after the double monster and stuff. I think he added TCs till he had 4 in total and went for a quite good boom. I just think he didn't, Elephants was a bit of an oddball, but the way the maps were, your map was just absolute atrocious, and then his map was godlike, absolutely godlike.
Yeah, I don't mind bad maps in arena when I'm playing against a macro player like Vinch, because I always intend to get map control, and if I lose it, I think I kind of deserve to lose the game anyway. So I didn't really care about my map. It's it doesn't matter. He can have a great map. I don't care. Getting 5 relics counters extra gold piles any day. But I don't think it's really worth it to go 4 TCs boom in arena. Unless you just lost 6 fields straight away and you're just trying to do a massive reboom. Unless you're in a really bad...
That's close, because of course when he did go double mall shaft going scouts, he was 1 TC for a long time. But I guess he just had in his head he wanted to boom.
Oh, that's fair actually. If that's the case, if he was 1 TC for a while and he knew he needed to catch up, then that makes some sense. But I would say that's already in a bad position. To add 3 TCs and reboom, that's bad, because you're going to be later to imp than you would like. With you're kind of a minute behind in getting map control, which is a big problem.
Yeah, I think maybe his scouting there might be a problem, because the sound to boom when you open with double monstrate, rather than maybe invest into getting some other units, try to take map control, try to do some 1 TC push stuff. If he scouted your map, he might have done that, but when he tried to go scouts and he lost his scouts, he didn't actually properly get good scouting on you. It was, if he did, he would have definitely, because he had the extras, he would have known what golds you had and where.
Yeah.
So I felt that was a bit, if he did scout, maybe he might have done something a little bit more aggressive.
It's definitely possible. Again, though, this Vinch likes to do macro style more. I agree with him. I would do the same thing. I don't really like to. Neither of us apparently like doing 1 TC, because it kind of feels risky. You do it, but if you make a single mistake and you lose any battle at all, then you're just dead. The other guy's got twice your bills. You just might as well resign. So it's kind of it's always a little bit safer to just to get a strong eco and hope. And if you think your civ is as good or better, so I think Malay are good against are okay against Chinese. It should be pretty even in imp, so it's less risky for him to go for the economy approach, even if my map's bad.
What kind of combinations are Malay going to make against China if we're talking about Chuknus here? It's quite difficult if you have Chuknu and then you mix in maybe like Cav, a Hulb, that kind of thing.
They can make onagers with siege engineers. That can destroy Chuknu if you have arbs to back them up. I would personally go Halb, Arb, Onager, and that should destroy Chinese. And I mean that should destroy Chinese any army in one pitch battle. But then the counter for Chinese is to make bombard towers everywhere and just do slow grinds with trebs, bombard towers, and lots of like cavalry raiding.
Yeah, I think bombard towers is definitely the key there.
Yeah. Like it's complicated. If you just take one spot and you get as much army like from China and an army from Malay and you fight, Malay should win with the Halbonager. But that's never the way it works. Chinese, the Chukunu are mostly good for making running in with like cavalry, scattering the other guy's army, running in for a small bit with Chukunu, and then retreating before anything happens. Malay win the pitch battle, I guess. Chinese win the kind of all around raiding stuff.
Yeah, I was just thinking China is going to be such a strong pick, though. I mean, you were like, by the time you even got to Castle Age, you weren't really even that far behind villagers compared to Malay, just because you had the extra, like, I think you were almost a full villager ahead after Loom, so if you include Loom, 2 villagers, but can't really include Loom.
Only a full villager ahead in the Dark Age?
Yeah.
What? Should have been 2 villages.
Well,
actually,
if you included Loom, but...
Oh, if you include Loom, yeah, sorry.
As a villager, but of course you can't.
Fair enough. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But yeah, it's I loved seeing Vinch perfectly boar lure his own scout lure his own boars every single game. But then like it's like 3 games I saw a scout just randomly get one hit as I was strolling around your base. So
yeah, I'm not sure that's the best idea. Personally, I don't think that the extra bonus you get from having the Vil not walking is. I don't think you know. I do not notice the difference when I do that and when I just use the Vil. I see no difference in my economy, and I do notice a big difference when my first scout dies. That's minus 80 food. So I mean, you have to ask yourself which is better, 10 seconds of Vil walking or 80 food. I would go for the scout.
Yeah. Also at the same time, he was just doing some mental efficient things. Like he was doing that and then got his TC, garrisoned inside, shot it with the TC. That's always risky play for me because I know I would just forget one day. But yeah, he was really putting in a lot of effort and all the small things to try and get some good builds. It was really impressive to see. Yeah. Actually, he was playing really on form.
Yeah, I was like every one of the games was really stressful. I knew that if I relaxed for 1 second, he would out macro me. So I was kind of prepared for that.
So game 6, I didn't write down any questions for this one, so I'm just going to go off the top of my head. Do you know what he did?
Game 6. I think he just forgot to add slingers fast enough. I think that was the problem.
Oh yeah, of course. But I mean, like he opened with the 4TC boom. That was a bit insane for me, really. I wasn't expecting it. He no contest to get relics, just straight up open with a 4TC boom. It was a bit ballsy. He was massively ahead of you in economy, but of course when you're against Slavs that's not like a huge achievement because, you know, their villages are working better anyway. How
much villas was he ahead of me? Like 20?
By imp, about 15-20. And then he reached about a full boom status, maybe like 20-25 villas ahead of you.
To be honest, I think that makes just about 0 difference.
Well, he had a huge amount of resources, but he wasn't spending them. That's the thing. He wasn't making slingers with all the food and gold he had. That's kind of where I think he went down.
Yeah. I agree with you there that the best option for him would have involved faster slingers, absolutely. But I don't think that. I think I was in a better position the moment he decided to boom. From my experience, I get the feeling that that the person who gets the relic should have just about equal economy to the guy who's moving, even though they're like 20 levels ahead, because you have to react to the guy who's outside with map control, and that costs economic efficiency. So his only chance would have been to kill me in the first 3 minutes after he reached imp.
Yeah,
but that's not easy to do.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to just generally stop Incas, though. I mean, the Scorpions were definitely a good call. I mean, the thing is, he had so much extras in his back. Like, you had a decent map, but his map was absolutely godlike. Again, he had some good RNG this time around, but I don't know. I think with all that gold, he could have really. There's no telling that his extra boom did give him all the extra resources, but just not spending them. It's.
Yeah.
I don't know why Slingers didn't seem to cross his mind, because after he already got couriers, which I again think he maybe got a little bit late, it was just a bit odd to see him take at least 5 minutes before he makes his first archery range. It was.
Yeah, that was I think that was just a mistake from him, just because we've been playing for so long that both our brains were a little bit rattled. I think that he would have done that if he was in a. Like, I feel like he just forgot. Most games I'd say he would have done that sooner. The Slingers. That was just a mistake. I mean, that's just it.
For that last game, it came down to both of you had a Forgotten Empire civ. He had an AOK civ left as well. You had African Kingdoms, and I was like, you're going to pick Slavs, he's going to pick Incas, and he should be winning. But I'm surprised he didn't win. Actually, Incas could played perfectly. As if he was playing on form, I think he probably could have won that one.
I guess what would have changed is that he would have had Slingers faster. I still would have won the first Trebuchet war. So the question is, how does he push me? How does he get me out of that position? I'm not sure how, because it's what combination of the units. Even with Slingers, he can't take fights under the castle. He needs to mass like 3 or 4 trebs before he can really do one big push. But by that time, I would have Scorpions ready. So I'm not sure what he does make.
What about Siege Ram Slinger?
Champion. Oh, I see. Champion. Scorpion should beat that, because the Scorpions have just enough range. Well, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, Scorpions were a little bit later than that point. That would have been a little bit more.
But he has to research Siege Ram, though. That takes time.
Yeah, there's also that time that you had that one treb on his castle. You must have spent like 2 castles worth of stone repairing it. I was like, this is not worth it.
I think part of it, the reason I got late heavy Scorpion is because I was reacting to what he was doing. I was actually going to research that a lot sooner, but then I noticed that he was starting to mass Kameyuks, so I was like, okay, let's just leave this off a bit and go more heavy onto the champions. If he had done a big pause in army, I probably would have stopped all production and researched heavy Scorpion much faster, because then I would have thought, oh, he's massing Slingers, because what else is he doing? He's not massing Eagles, that's not going to do anything. So the only other options Incas have are Slingers, Onagers. That's basically it. So I guess his best combination is probably Slinger Onager, actually.
Yeah, he still has to have trebs though, so maybe like I don't know. Do you think he would have been able to survive to get that combination if he had back castles just to get trebs out?
Yeah, probably. If he just didn't try to come outside, got fortified wall, and started amassing Slingers and Onagers, he might have won. But it's just complicated when you have full map control for that long. It's so hard to push you away, because you've got all the extra mines, all the space. Got unlimited time with 5 relics to do whatever you want. Even if the other guy's got a better combo, it's hard to come out. So that's why he tried to come out earlier, because it's never good to be confined in your base.
Of all people, we have a very drunken Stark in chat, and he says that ARB Siege Ram could do the trick. I'm thinking that's probably okay, but with Monk behind for the launchers.
Yeah, sorry, what did you say?
ARB Siege Ram with Monk behind for the launchers, because obviously no heresy for Slavs, that could work.
Yeah, that's true. What would I do against that?
Full skirm again. Fucking repeat the Brit game.
I agree with Stark. That actually makes sense, because it's true. I can't go Onagers if he makes Monks. So if you just the Arb Siege Ram should work, I think. Yeah, Slinger Siege Ram, Arb Siege Ram, either is okay. I guess Arb is safer because Arbs kill champions plenty quickly, so you don't really need Slingers, and they're better against Cavalier in case I switch to that. The main issue is that would you be able to always have the monks support? Because I would switch to Onager instinctively against that champion Onager to fight that, and then he would make his monks. So then what would I do next? Probably make Hussar and just do lots of snipes. And then he would switch to Kamiyuk. And so basically it turns into this full rock, paper, scissors war where you just keep switching to a different combination of units. The problem with the Arb Siege Ram is that would you have been able to shake me off my castle position early on before he got the monk?
The thing I'm thinking is we are considering the situation that he was currently in, which was after 4 TC boom, which is quite a long time to click up the imp, maybe like even a full 2 minutes longer than just a simple 3 TC boom to a low cost combination like Arb Siege Ram would take you. So I think you might not had as much of a chance to even establish that kind of forward if you did to 3 TC boom into a combination like Slinger or Arb into Ram. With Ram, I mean.
Yeah. I guess
I'm thinking.
Part of the reason I made champions is because I saw he was so heavy on stone. If I like part of what I made was because I thought I had figured out what he was doing, which ended up being the case. If I thought that he was going up faster, if he reached Imperial Age 2 minutes faster, I would have thought, oh, he's going Arbalists or something that doesn't cost as much economy, maybe Slingers to start out with. And then I probably would have started with Onager just long enough to force him to make monks, and then I could have swapped him to something different. Basically, it really comes down to, can the person who's got map control figure out what the other guy's starting with and make the counter? So I thought he was starting with Kamiyuk, so I made champions, which worked. If he had started with Arb, the question is, would I have guessed that? That's basically the thing. If I guessed it, I could have stopped it with Castle with Onagers behind, because then you would have only been able to treb it down, and then it would have just turned into a big treb war, which is good for me because I've got map control. But I mean, maybe I wouldn't have guessed it. So it's always risky. There's lots of mind games in the opening thing you start with in Imp.
So what do you think of the map?
The VAS map?
Yeah.
I mean,
Arabia, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean map for that game or just the map in general? That was the question.
Just in general.
I mean, I was happy with the map. I never saw a problem with it. I mean, most arenas are kind of the same, but yeah, it's fine. I like starting with the extra sheep. The graphics were the extra little spring graphics. Were like, okay, why not? And was it like designed to be balanced so that if you have extra res, the other person does too, or I don't know.
All the extras in the map are as they are in normal arena, like random. But
okay.
The changelog's basically you start with 1 sheep, obviously. So that's that. Your sheep don't change, the extra sheep, so they could still spawn outside and be lamed, that kind of thing. Your boar are generally a bit closer. You will always spawn with deer inside, but it's going to be either 3 or 4.
Oh,
and
that's true.
If your opponent has, well, you and your opponent have the same amount of deer, so if you have 3, he'll have 3.
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think we only saw like one game that had 4 deer though, as far as I remember.
Yeah, I was so happy because it happened when I was Chinese, which is the best time for it to happen.
Yeah, and then can't think of anything else other than 1800 HP walls. It's just got the small graphical changes as well, which they're okay. The stumps I'm not too big of a fan of. But
yeah, I mean, doesn't make a huge difference, but
the general idea is like it's going to be basically in effect the same map, but it's going to graphically change every season. So since it's a Voobly mod that you subscribe to, it automatically updates if we change it. So like when it comes to summer, it'll automatically start being summer themed graphically.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. That's good.
So that's kind of the plan. It's going to be the same map for the next tournament, hopefully less clowning. I think next time I'm probably going to go with only live finals. I think live semi-finals is maybe asking a bit too much.
Yeah, well, things just didn't turn out. It was kind of unlucky. I don't know.
It's also a nightmare to organise, so I might as well just be this way. Is there anything else in the map that actually changed? Because I think I forgot something.
I think that was it.
The Krazini did a thing where your main resources will spawn slightly further away from woodline, so they're not going to spawn inside woodline as much.
Oh, that's good.
I wanted to do something with the stragglers, but I decided to leave that. I wanted to like have more stragglers kind of closer around your TC, like maybe about as much, but like have less stragglers a bit further away from your TC up to your wall, so it's like you're not gonna have like a random straggler stuck in your gold or something.
Oh yeah,
But
that is annoying.
I was thinking of maybe doing something like that, but I think it's like it's going to be some like long tedious solution that causes more problems than it fixes because it's such a small thing. So yeah, but I quite like the map. I think I'll be playing on it myself. I'll be happier when we get the summer theme. I'm not going to like, after seeing Derek and just seeing the desert map, I was like, this is not happening. So yeah, it's going to be the basic grass, but like some small stuff, like maybe more patches of like dirt here and there, something like that. But Stark, calm down. He says if Arena keeps evolving this way, it'll become CBA in 2021. That's not wrong.
There's Arena, and then there's Macro Arena. That's a real man's sport.
1800 HP walls, let's crank that up a bit, add an extra 0. But yeah, I think everything went well. I think the event's really good. The CERN AoE, of course, doing quite a lot for it, creating the banner and stuff, and all the new Voobly graphics, so thanks to him for that. I can't think of anything else I've got left to cover today, actually. Might as well announce the premium giveaway. I guess I forgot to say congratulations.
Thanks. Thanks for making the tournament. Yeah, the whole thing was very fun.
Yeah, so the way the prize works is that I'm going to give Vinch his part of the cash prize, and I'm going to give you the part I'm covering of your prize, and then Voobly Official will give you the other $100 either this weekend or next weekend. Okay. Because they pay out every weekend, so it's... And I think it's within 48 hours you'll get your 1 year Voobly Platinum.
Oh man, that's so exciting.
It's actually so expensive to get, but like I'm not even sure what the benefits of Platinum is over Silver even.
I can see AKA rates again. I missed that. It disappeared from my account.
That's the main reason people get premium, and that's why we're giving away like 3 months Silver every single stream at the moment. It's like people love it. It's the best thing ever. But yeah, I think Platinum's just like massive amounts of like extra friends list capacity and all that kind of crap. But yeah, enjoy that. I might as well